16th April 2020, one more day of life and world. Serious day, of course. Let me go to at least see news first. Anything specific there? Yahoo says 11,933 cases in India. Death toll 392. So curve is rising now. India is on move to get more corona, I think. Started now. Then hotspots in Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra and Delhi. All these are mentioned there. I will not go to details. Hindus fanning hatred against Muslims. This is title. I'm just reading that. Then let's go to Trump. Of course, you know American President Trump. He has cut WHO funding, which is about 15% of WHO budget. EU, Russia, Iran slams US move. Actually, whole world is against US in this situation because of very grim corona situation is, and Trump is trying to play because of his 15% contribution to that. Well, this is childish anyway. Childish behavior at this time. Should not have been this way. Later on, you could think of that. Alright. Then we should go further to see if anything specific on this. Corona says Indian Express in relief for stranded Indians, US allows H1B visa extension. Okay, that's natural if you're there. I mean, say, how there's no other way. Venezuela tries harsher coronavirus quarantine measures in restless cat by barrios. So the Venezuela, all right. Nizamuddin Marcus, Delhi police books absconding tabloid Jamaat leader Maulana Saad for culpable homicide. Okay, this is from this politics. No. Well, I think nothing much in this. Heartbreaking photo of migrants desperate to get home. So this is, I think, nothing in this news. Let me move to another site, and that is Indian Express. Indian Express. Let me see what it speaks. Government declares 170 districts hotspots. Okay, now they are working. Any changes in migration pattern from Gulf will affect 80 lakh people in Kerala, says expert. Any changes in migration pattern from Gulf which affect 80 lakh people in Kerala. So nothing very specific. If we do not get food, we will leave for home again, says MP labourers in Pune. If they don't get food, they will leave again. I think government is sleeping, in fact. WHO chief expresses regret over US decision to freeze funding over corona. So this is another one. Let me go to European news, which gives better feedback than local news. Our news are not much reliable. So better is Ukraine amid coronavirus lockdown. Ukrainians start to feel pinch. Alright, pinch. European Union slams Donald Trump's decision to suspend WHO funding. And it's about Germany. There are vultures out there. Police thwarts 2.38 million face mask scam. Okay, scam. Romania scramble for face masks and medical supplies, sends prices soaring. And come on to United Kingdom. United Kingdom town devises a moose-sing remedy to lockdown loneliness. Okay, then France postponed until August due to coronavirus pandemics. And reviews there are lessons learned by Britain 1931 could save Europe zone from post-war catastrophe. And Madrid stages open-air cinema for confined locals. Okay. In picture is a France law restoration project bringing Notre Dame back to life. Then this is regarding Belgian potato chief appeals for government to chip in amid crisis. First Hungary, now Poland. It's time for Europeans to speak out against COVID-19 power grabs. This is European news. Now go to international news, Arab international news, which is very big site actually. Saudi Arabia leads G20 to agree on debt suspension for world's poorest countries. Coronavirus infections continue to rise as governments step up testing. Saudi Arabia allocates 50 billion SR for private sector support. This is a good one. SR 50 billion, very good. Amnesty slams Qatar's expulsion of migrants worker during coronavirus pandemics. Amnesty slams Qatar's expulsion of migrants. And Iran detained Hong Kong flagship before letting it sail. Saudi envoy to UN highlights kingdom's efforts to confront COVID-19. UN thanks Saudi Arabia for Yemen humanitarian aid amid coronavirus. Saudi Arabia acted, not reacted to COVID-19 pandemic, says Dr. Reem bin Mansour Al Saud. Cairo shootout exploits COVID-19 crisis, and Palestinians and Israelis divided over a common adversary, coronavirus. Lebanon suspends repatriation flights for virus standard nationals until April 27. COVID-19 spreads on French aircraft carriers, hundreds infected. COVID-19 hits South Korea, gripped by exam fever. Then there is another one. British Muslims warned against Hajj bookings. And moving to Palestine news. Palestine, small site, but 3 or 4 news must be from there. I'm just trying to give you updates, not details, just for 2-3 minutes more. And it is Israel raids shut down COVID-19 testing clinic in Palestine, East Jerusalem. What this Israel is? It's like a kid, they are working together. Nonsense, Israel. UN Mladeno asked Israel to release Palestinian tax revenues to fight coronavirus. Jewish settlers attack Palestinians youth center in Hebron. Israel prevents UNRWA workers from fighting COVID in Jerusalem. All nonsense. Shouldn't be like that. No humanity. Acting like criminals. I never see any day this Israel's criminality every day. Libya imposes 10-day curfew. France records highest death toll. Okay, highest death toll. And US has largest number of cases with 610,000 cases, followed by Spain 178,000 cases and Italy at 163,000 cases. What US funding cut means for WHO's fight against corona? So it's a big deal anyways. A big cause for this problem is it will multiply. Turkey extends military service to prevent COVID spread. Libya's Al-Sarraj will never sit down with Haftar. Alright, let's go to Gulf news. What Gulf news? It is COVID-19 RV markets is source of coronavirus. This is from UAE, and virus did not. Well, this. Why are you coming and doing this obstacle? I don't know. For no. Why this white here? Lockets only. Virus did not jump from Wuhan market. Evidence here. Virus did not jump from Wuhan market. Evidence is here. All we'll see later on. How one Dubai couple survived COVID-19 cruise from hell. This yesterday's ship journey for Dubai couple, and for about 3 months, 2 months they were in problem. So it's that. So we go to Pakistan news if anything is there. Pakistan, if anything is there, let me see. Something is there. It says PM Imran takes for so nothing special. Nothing special. Let me go to Oman. Oman, what Oman says. Coronavirus Supreme Committee issues new decisions. We'll see later on. Kuwait, what Kuwait says. I'm just trying to see from what is happening actually. Government insists on debt law as MPs provide alternatives. Trump freezes WHO funding, nothing new here. So China, more to China. It's a big news from China as well. Could existing vaccines help beat COVID-19? Researchers investigate. So this is science. Green light for human trials on more China COVID-19 vaccine hopeful. WHO chief dismayed at Trump's decision to halt funding. Pelosi vows to challenge Trump's illegal suspension of WHO funding. Pelosi, their own means they are not happy. Vaccine with incomplete immunity could offer a solution to pandemic. All right, that's supposition. So it's nothing here. Now let me close news and we'll talk. Come on, we'll talk in general now. Well, news chapter I was just talking about. I think I'm maybe 10 minutes for all news. Nothing very specific currently, but there was some article yesterday and some testing I talked to yesterday also. One French scientist tested in laboratory at what temperature this coronavirus dies. And yesterday I also talked. Information what he provided is that 92 degrees Celsius, he tested at 60 to 80 degrees, where it survived, it didn't die. But at 92, that is a line where it doesn't survive anymore. That's the scientists informed, and I studied that one. So what I used to say, if you boil water, at water boiling point is 100 degrees Celsius, everyone knows, and you just sip the water at that point, at that boiling point, you will have protective measures about corona. It seems it's very, very powerful creature. Means 92 degrees survival, which indicates that there is no temperature in Earth. You can find 92 degrees. I think maximum is 50 to 55 degrees Celsius. You say at that too in Baghdad, say during some time of year. More than that, I'm not sure. We'll find somewhere all over the world. This means this is very powerful. Oh, another point is about air conditioning. I got one article that air condition has very powerful instrument, that's compressor. This machine is having enough power to pull you know, these droplets, if available at where your AC works, if these droplets which are stationary, they are not in dynamic state. These are stationary and survive in air for about couple of hours. This is what is stated about this virus. If these droplets are stationary, not in motion, this means when AC works, AC has pulling power. It can pull these droplets into your room through refrigerant, and this can thrive further. So users now, it's summer and temperature is gradually rising, sometimes in days around 38, 39 and 40 degrees Celsius, particularly in our country. Early morning temperature now is say 25 it is, or more than that. This means air conditions if used now frequently, there are chances that air conditioner, and if droplets are available in that vicinity of air condition, it is quite possible. This can, your AC can pull these droplets into your room, and once it enters your air conditioner, and it can enter your refrigerant and can cause a lot of problems which cannot be imagined. Though they are not talking about it, but there's an instruction somewhere around the world that keep restaurant tables, desks quite apart. They are expecting that type of problems of droplets. So it's very, very logical consideration, scientifically based, that do not invite such droplets into your room, which means you have to sacrifice little comfort. This is now April, May, June, where you use ACs, your children won't do that. But you are going to invite your COVID-19 if you do not take precautionary measures. And it's also possible, not possible, that you can create 92 degrees behind your AC. It's not possible. So virus has every efficiency now to enter your room or office. If you do not take this point, and I am sure you will not take this point because of your comfort issue. So it's very important point. I will just try to communicate to you that this situation can occur. Other one is, do not use AC. Best is use either cooler or fan. And to increase body's immunity, because even in 38 degrees or 40 degrees in atmosphere, virus possibility, existence possibility are at high. So better keep yourself up in immunity, increase your body's resistance so that it can at least encounter if virus there. It can enter through your mouth, so you can drink boiled water. Boil it and do not hold it. Start drinking it. Just don't take too much water, take half cup or 1 cup. Boil it, drink it. It may finish in 5 minutes, not more, just like you take a cup of tea or coffee. Don't take it, just take in 5 minutes so that your mouth, your throat is heated up. And once it gets into your throat, it gets into your body, it shall of course work up to your nose and all that. It's only a precautionary measure. There's no we can say evidence, but I can say take your sun bath, or just sit outside your room for about half an hour to 1 hour. Let your body sweat and drink hot water and eat hot food. All this you can do. There is no other way. There's no other way to survive until you have some conclusive treatment. That's why I mean. So it's rising actually. They are saying curve is down, curve is up. This is all confusion. Until this virus stays on earth, you cannot protect yourself from this, because it is very powerful in its physical capacity, its biological capacity. You're not sure, because those scientists who are working on this boiling issue, in temperature issue, they too were very concerned about that in case they are impacted upon. So they said, okay, we'll try it chemically, not by thermally, because chemical will try which chemical can kill this. Well, that's no conclusion till now, and only a very few information we are getting about that. Still now this we science has failed actually to the extent nobody knows what it is, from where it came. So we may say it's power of God, nothing else. We cannot say something else, and power of God is only God to decide, because we are all part of God and subject of God, and earth is the. So I have no answer, only precautionary measures, and I am sure this is not going to end soon. Your science has failed, your money has failed, everything has failed. So when everything fails, only hope remains, Almighty is there, no one else. So all people who used to jump a lot, they must think again how to protect this earth, how to protect resources of earth, which is very important point. Money is not everything in life. Money cannot solve every problem. Money can solve to some extent, but money cannot buy life. That's only important. Now we'll go further. I'll let you see what friends here. It says India Jab Big Job CEO. Welcome, Mr. India Jab Job CEO. Welcome, I think. Okay. I'll move on to our management issue. Just every day's quality control, quality management. As many times I told you, confusion and no confusion, what we have to do and what we are not to do. It's particularly for those civil engineers, mechanical engineers and electrical engineers who are directly involved in projects. I give first priority to this team. This team makes project, other teams support projects. If this team, civil, electrical, mechanical, basic engineers are not there, you will not see development. You will see forest moves everything. This is my basic principle I always talk. Civil engineer which just goes to site where there is nothing, is to stand, walk, do what him. No office, nothing, but there is to see clear kachra, rubbish, everything you have to do. But that's job. And I feel that's beauty actually. Beauty of civil engineer is that he is very rough. No care for clothes, no care for water, no care for food, and sometimes you spend whole day like that. But this leads to development. If you have to convert a forest to a city or a desert to a city, you have to sacrifice. Without sacrifice, we cannot do it. I remember my time in 1983-84 when I was in Libya. There was no WC there for me. This was army area, and I had to take bottle early morning at 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock to go to daily meets. I did that a lot to construct one toilet here because facilities or items were not available. Well, I'm just saying that we have to do that. It's our duty. We don't do any obligation on to one. It's our job. But which job? Actually, people are running away from that all over the world. I talk to many British people, many American people, many others. They try to avoid this profession. The reason is that not much, remuneration. People try to jump to management or to IT. Okay, jump, no problem. But you forget, IT is also secondary. Management is also secondary. Just imagine, this is a stage now, no industry, no factory, nothing, everything is locked down. If that situation occurs all time, or it is reduced to 50%, what shall be your position, management guys and IT guys? We used to work without IT one time. Of course, IT has provided efficiency to work. Indeed, we can say no. But basic is same. Still excavation is done. Still concrete is done. Every work is done. Of course, some methods have changed. We are excavating. But without excavation also, without machine use also we can excavate. We cannot say that's not possible. It's possible. Fundamentals are same, formula are same, formula which was 50 years ago is still the same, no change. Only change in mindset. Still I have to stay in sun. I can't sit at home and say concrete is done, work is done. That situation has not changed. Yes, I've got computer, we can calculate fast, we can program it. But remember, computer cannot change your mind. Computer cannot give you mind. It can only support you. Mind, you have to make it, change it yourself. I see so many planning engineers. Of course, they give very beautiful colors on bar chart and all that. And people are impressed by that. And we don't give a civil engineer all those decorations. But if you raise questions to them, it is certain crossings to them, they run away. I remember an example, a backfill of a project. 7 days were, I think 7 or 5 days were taken by that planner. He was not very experienced planner. He came with a plan. I asked him, backfill of this building, you are taking a couple of days. What's the reason? He simply said, can't it be done? Means he tried to tell me I was a fool. Okay, you tell me how it can be done. Come on to site and see what we are doing. I took to site. What you have done? He was asking me. What you have taken in bar chart, did you consider this point? No, how you excavate all? It's my choice. Excavate, not to excavate. Who are you to ask this question? It's me, it's myself. I have to see which is convenient way of excavation. You will teach me that. Did you ask me before taking so many days in this plan? You yourself can take this. What's your experience? Tell me. You are just too young. You do not know what site is. And you are telling me what I have to do. This is a job of 2 months. You have taken only 5 days. Do you know what? Means people just imagine. Imagine anything. By imagination can you do it? You do not know how to plan. Now you are planning. You don't know what was time management, what is cost management, what is work management, and you are planning. You think I don't know planning? But at least you should know what job is first. If you cannot know job, if you cannot break up activities, if you do not understand which is first and which is second one, and which problems or what problems you get in fields, how can you plan? And same thing to designers. I always fight with them. You do not know meaning of construction ability, constructability, buildability, and you are going to design. You don't understand site problems, go to site first and learn what's there. And if you cannot learn at site, you can never do good design. And I appreciate your design. Your design is based on your excellence, indeed. But that excellence is worth if site guy applies that, if site guy implements that. But site guy doesn't care about that. You think site will automatically do it? You never coordinate with those people who work on site. First coordinate with them and listen to them. What's the problem? Problem is that we are not able to produce construction joints in a professional way because of your rubbish designs. You don't understand. You are just confining dimensions of columns and beams according to what architect says, not what site says. Such problems do happen. Practical experience is first priority in construction engineering, not design knowledge. First you learn, you see how people work. You learn culture of working. Every country has different culture of working. Go to GCC country and see culture. Go to Middle East countries and see culture. Go to West countries and see culture. And then go to see your own country what's work culture. You will find difference there. You will find varying degree of variations. Nationality work is different than your own people. How you see your people, states people, other people. And your own engineers, you can see engineer from this state and that state, you will find different level of knowledge. I am not objecting to that, but first learn what you are going to do. Do not claim that you are MTech or PhD. I do not bother about that, because that MTech is in theory, not in practice. Your PhD is in theory, guided by some professor, not at site. You learn site first and then claim yourself PhD or something else. Boasting on one thing, but you don't understand anything on site, you create problems only. It happens. It always happens because site people do not understand what you write or you talk. Your drawings are not clear, not clearly mentioning what should be done on site. There is no method statement given by you people. You just think they will do themselves. So they themselves. Foreman does it way, engineer does it way. They don't know what's written on drawing. You do not elaborate anything. There is no feed. There is no design philosophy. You are just giving drawings and do it. This is culture of this country. It may be planning, it may be design, it may be construction, it may be valuation, it may be whatever. Method statements always miss, and people call it methodology. I mind. Not methodology, method statement. Methodology is something else. I have seen people's postings, methodology. What is methodology? It is your responsibility. Why you call it methodology? It is a method statement. You state what you are going to do. Methodology is something else. But they can't understand. Logic is science. You can't change, but a statement is yours. You can vary that, you can change that. You can do one work in 10 method statements. Contractor can make one method statement, you can make another one, consultant make third one. There is no binding on anything. What is approved, that is followed. This is practice, international practice. But here nobody understands. Quality, they talk only controls, they talk only testing, they don't understand real quality. And this is what I am concerned about. System quality, organizational quality, that is required. Wherever you work, in whatever field you work, design or construction or planning or cost or valuation or quality control, wherever you work, you have to abide by certain statements, certain methods, certain systems, certain organizational attitude, which is your own, designed by your own and understood by your own, and you have to apply that. That is quality system. A team decides what to do, not individual. If individual decides even, it is devoted to team. That is where and how we work. Here there is no safety plan. They give some plan. I saw plans of site, 10-15 pages. And if you ask them question, they would answer. They went answer. No. This is not. Okay, I will include that, they will say. I visited one site, big site. Means if the site is big, it's 500 crores estimate budget. People should be like that. Quality system should be like that. Safety should be like that. Yes, they are having all PPEs, everything is there. They have record some 10-20 pages of the plan. This please show me this page, this. Okay, fine. This okay, fine. And I ask him simple one question. Tell me what about incentives? They do not know what incentives means. Your people are following safety. It's for you. How you promote it? Do you give something to them? Some incentives you promote or no? Or just because they have to do it? Yes, we do this and we do that. Where is it written here? Tell me, where is it written? Why didn't you write? Why do you hide something? If you hide something, it's not management then. You have to write clearly in black and white what you are going to do. Your document should speak everything. Otherwise, what is purpose of audit? No purpose of audit. You write here, we'll do this. Let me show the proof you did it. You have to prove what you write, you comply that. And if you cannot do that, there is no meaning. This is not engineering then. Engineering means be clear, speak everything. It should tell me, no, I don't want to know from you, I want to see on documents. That is what audit is. That is what management is. If I'm not there tomorrow, my document would say, this we did or we are going to do. This is what people don't understand. One quality engineer was there. I just asked one question. Which cement you used? You are using OPC. What is the reason that you are using OPC? He didn't answer. You have done this project. Thousands of cubic meter concrete you have done. I'm asking one question. Why are you using OPC? It's because written in specifications. Why did you review it? Why did you not challenge it? No answer. What quality issues we are facing on this project are related to that. OPC is not cement these days must be used, not necessary, but you are using that and you don't know reason. No, it has some PFA. Okay, it has PFA. That is very common item, but there is restriction of PFA. You cannot do your way. It stops at one point. Beyond that, what? Means generally they add some PFA to these cements to enhance initial setting time. That's only reason, nothing else. But alternative is not PFA, we know. Alternate, he didn't know what alternate was. I asked him, do you know GGBS? Yes, I know that. Then what did you do with that? He simply said, no, because it's not available. That's not answer, because it's not available. Show me evidence not available. Did you try it? Why did you not include that in the specification? When you are doing a project, your specification must tell what shall be done. Even if it was not done in the beginning of, so it can be added later on. It's not going to impact on cost, not at all. GGBS does not impact cost. So why do you understand GGBS? He actually did not know that. Fact was this. If he doesn't understand GGBS, naturally microsilica is remote for him. No need of discussing that one. What I am saying is, people should be clear. Not just if you ask someone, you did this. No. I just wrote observation. If there is, I ask many questions. Why this? This slab and beam joints. Why this look? Why it's shady here? Why it is shady on this? This means you did something on that after shutting was removed, and that's why that different color is coming. Why there was crack? Why this cold joint? Why this is not monolithic? What for quality is there? If you cannot even control quality, then how will you manage quality? And I saw so many bags, Haitians puts on so many spots. Why this remove this bag? So there is honeycombing or voids on that side. You are just going to hide that. From whom you are hiding? This is your work. You have to do it correctly. Repair it. Show me what method was used for repair. Means they are trying to hide. No. In engineering, you should not hide first of all. You are not doing work for one day. This work impacts for decades. From whom you are hiding? From engineers or from consultants or from yourself? I don't know. There are errors, there are defects. If you work, there will be defects. But defects should not be concealed. Why you try to hide it and repair it at night? My dear, concrete is concrete. You cannot harm concrete itself. If you are harming concrete, you are harming durability of that project. And don't forget, you are responsible for that. Every project is warranted by law. If something happens, you are going to be liable and accountable both. My reference to that talk is not I have to criticize that person. So everybody has responsibility. Everybody wants to survive in job, that's okay. But at least understand job. If you can't understand job, you are dealing with people, you are dealing with resources, they are expensive, and you are keeping lives of unknown people at risk. If say this building is on fire, shall this concrete stay there? There are so many possibilities. So engineering and construction of engineering is not that easy as we understand. I am not saying that what I am saying is right only. What approach you adopt, that's point of concern. Maybe I am wrong, but you show me your system. I am not saying follow my system, never. But you define what is your system. There was a time where there was no such system actually. And site engineer or site manager or whatever you used to call that person, he was responsible for each and every activity, bar chart, cost cutting, estimation, work, make material orders. Partly or fully they were involved somewhere, but they were having high hands-on experience. And now it's different. If you are in quality, you think I have nothing to do with planning. If you are planning, I have nothing to do with site. That type of approach is actually questionable. And I say even design engineer is responsible for work. If the designer isolates from work, that design engineer is failure. If you do not know what your work has resulted, then what's the purpose of design? You thought so much in that. You imagine everything there is, but on site there's no compaction. Then what? I have seen sites here, people just doing work without knowing, without understanding value and meaning of compaction. For them, compaction is just nothing, just walk on that and it's compacted. Here, I have seen this. On many sites I have seen this, buildings I have seen that. They are filling with excavator, JVC, and leave it. I evidence many photographs taken, and from big companies, Faridabad, the smart city companies, where L&T are contractors. At many locations I have seen that. Such a vast work. I am not blaming them, I am blaming those engineers who are involved either from governments and or from company or organization and contractor. All are responsible for that. I am not blaming those construction workers, I am not blaming foremen, I am blaming directly site engineer and resident engineer of government. They are responsible. I have not seen them any time on site, just coming only for some measurements and going away. Is only measurement your job? Your people do not understand anything about quality, they just do it. This is happening everywhere. I can say maybe 1 or 2% or 3% projects may be of quality, I am not sure, but in general, 70% of our budget is being thrown away. Construction involves 60 to 70% of funding of budget in all fields. But I regret to say that nothing is moving in quality system, only production, production, production. Do whatever you want today, nobody is coming to check. Your manhole cover is 10 centimeter above road, nobody is serious, or it is 5 centimeter within road, nobody is serious. Your car may hit it, nobody is serious. Nobody is serious for any maintenance. Even if you complain, no one is. I put on Facebook of this company photographs which are removed by them. Sometimes I feel very angry because of this. It's not because my right to be angry, because everybody has some approach. If you are an engineer, though it's not your direct responsibility, but I can't tolerate that. See how they are using steel. You will never imagine, or maybe you are also used to that, I can't say. Steel is brought and thrown on soil, and then there is moisture, there is rain, nobody cares. 100% rusted bars are being used, and they feel happy, they have done work. I don't understand what is my mind setup of our people. What's mind setup? What our institutions are doing, I don't understand. I can't blame government because government is not engineer. It is institutions, they are responsible. It is organizations, they are responsible. They are not looking after these because they are thinking we are not responsible. I don't find anyone in this country who is responsible. In fact, responsible title does not exist. That is our state, and this affects standard of country. These people, when they work overseas in Gulf or otherwise, they work everything. They comply with quality, they comply with specification, and they comply with national and international standards. But here, what they do is standard, that's all. What I said, do it, nothing else. Here buildings are tilted, nobody cares. Buildings are sunk, nobody cares. Buildings collapse, nobody cares. And there's no one to care. How can I answer? That's only my background, that I thought I should do something, at least tell people where is problem and what we should do. This was only criteria that I tried to talk to people through videos. There's nothing, I'm not directly responsible for anything, but I want to share my experience with public, particularly public, not engineers only, because I know engineers don't listen. Engineers are very smart, they don't listen, but public must know. Public should catch hold of engineers if they know what you are doing. They see only building is under construction, they don't understand what they are doing, and nobody questions. Forget architect, I don't care for them. It's not their job. Work is not their job. Their job is only space setting, and they may involve themselves in design or something, that's their problem. But technology must reach public. That is a requirement. Public must know where they are spending money. It's public money. It may be a private building or government building, but money is from public. If public cannot understand where money is going to, that is a question mark. If I construct my house and I don't know, I just trust in some contractor, whatever builder or contractor is doing, I trust him. And that builder abuses that trust and does its way. Is that right? But this is happening everywhere. Government projects are no different. It's happening everywhere. Engineering has died actually. Frankly speaking, engineering has died. There is no engineering. Just job, do it. I know I can't work in this situation, and I have failed here. Frankly speaking, I have failed here. If I talk something, they think means I'm talking some other world. That's the problem here. If you talk of soil, people enjoy what he's talking. They don't understand anything because they are not taught. Information is not given to them. You think they will go to courts or they will read your books of specifications? Never. When engineers don't read that, how you expect these people to read that? I asked many engineers many times. I met, if there is an engineer, say 25 years experience, post-graduation experience, and 30 years experience. Okay, fine, you are a very, very experienced person. I asked simple questions, very, very simple questions. How do you maintain temperature of concrete? How do you understand that? What do you understand about that? What? Answer comes, what? Temperature of concrete. What is that range? You ask anybody. They won't respond. They will see as if you have asked very unknown question. They don't understand relation of thermal energy to concrete. They don't understand that. Just concrete is in that sort. That is state here. I can't blame education on this. Everything cannot be learned from university. Your university is failed. That is university. Forget 4 years course and 5 years course and 6 years course. They are not, they are only professors. They are not engineers. There is a difference. A professor is a teacher, professional teacher. His job is limited. Syllabus is defined. He won't teach more than that. But engineering is not defined. Engineering is unlimited. After having passed degree, it's your duty to teach yourself. Who will teach you? You are at such a location, at such a highest profile in society, no one can teach you. You have to move yourself. You have to move yourself on path of professional development. Already you are a professional, you have to develop further. This is you. You are your teacher. Your project details are your teacher. You are a specifier or you are using a specification. Both applies. You are teaching your juniors. You are learning from seniors. If you find that you are real professional. Otherwise, you are a B, C, B, etc., etc., nothing else. I don't consider B, ME, and PhD engineers. That is only academics, nothing else. And academics, until practice, is not called professional. One has to practice. This their job they are doing. They are teaching. That's their job. But they are not learning. Try to understand this. University professors only teach. They do not learn. They can learn only when they practice in field. And we as professionals do not teach students. We teach others. This is difference. You teach your staff. You teach your workers. You teach society. That's your job. Because you know practical work. You know what is right, what is wrong. This is management. You have to spread to society. And if you do not spread, society knows nothing. What they see, that is engineering. This is engineering. And this is a complaint not only from me, this is from all over the world. Yes, there is quality, I know, every year, but even then, people in society are of same thinking, same mindset. This is all engineering. You are doing column, you are doing beam, this is engineering for them. They do not know what is behind that. But this is not their fault, because people are unaware of that. A doctor and patient, they know each other what doctor does. A vakil and a client knows each other, they know each other what he does. But we have, first of all, very limited clientship. We don't have clients. We are only in job, on services. Even there, we should do our job, but we are not doing. Really speaking, a lot change is required in mindset of people. Quality cannot be achieved just by arguing or by criticizing someone. I am trying to disseminate my mind with others. I know people don't like me this way. I least bother about that also. When you have to struggle, you have to fight with some system, people won't accept you. This is natural. But I don't care for they accept me or they don't accept you. What is truth is truth. Simple. Manipulation is not accepted. Manipulation is not accepted. Facts are accepted. But it is duty of engineers of this country to concentrate and think about this. You simply cannot leave it, I am following what is given to me. You can follow what is given to me, but it is also your duty to proof check that what's given to you. Don't leave it to someone else. At least you first read all documents before doing a project, and you are just starting because it was to be started. You start mobilizing and finish it and never see documents and never understanding what you do, and let's say I handed over project. That is a problem here. All over. I always walk on roads sometimes and see this what's happening. I can't do anything, I know. I can't speak to someone. I see sometimes some responsible person and ask him, and that person cannot answer what I ask. I never tell that what I am. I never tell. No, by chance I'm asking why you're doing this. And they give some reasons which they don't know. Means if you want to know facts, you have to hide your personality first. Otherwise they will not tell. They will start saying sir, 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 and I don't want that answer. If you want to know facts, you have to change your conduct. I know that people are not happy. Everybody wants to survive. Now, what is third party? Third party audit. You all know it. Often, this is a condition on every contract that third party certification, third party audit is a must. This is there. That is only a clause in contract. Do you understand the meaning of that? Those involved in third party said, do they understand the meaning of it? I was involved in one. He requested me to do it for me because you're experienced and I want just to see how you do that. Now, what actually his mindset was? You have to just pull contractor's head, not something else. Means we want to teach a lesson to contractor. That was actually requirement of that person. In beginning, I could not understand actually what I wanted. I give me contract, this, it did not be all documents. But when I got documents, I asked one question, have you gone through contract? That person said, no, I didn't go through that. I asked him, okay, this project is delayed. Enormously this is delayed. Did you find any LD clause in that? He was looking at me. LD clause I am asking. Did you find any LD clause in that contract? He tried to turn pages of this and that. No, there is, I think nothing is there. I also was with him. I could not see immediately what was there. Now, if there is no LD clause, why shall that contractor fear of you? What's the reason he should worry about you? If project is finished in time or is not finished in time, what can you do against him? And how it is possible that there is no clause as such? Who devised this contract? Who designed this? How can you leave some contract without such clause which is punitive? Actually, this was a hidden clause somewhere. Next, I on myself read page by page, and some clause it was means including some other title. I say this is something here. If this contract is not coming in your grips, why don't you use clause? Do use this clause. It will come in your grip. I'm just trying to say, what sort of supervision is this? Without understanding contract, you are trying to fight, you are trying to supervise, you are trying to audit work. What is meaning of audit? Just going to site and photograph some cracks? This is your job. Cracks would be there. Cracks is not a problem. The system is a problem. Why are cracks? That is a problem. Did you investigate that? You did not. Your design is faulty, your procedure is faulty, every of your act is faulty. Then how can you audit? Audit system says, quality system says, you define something yourself, you approve yourself, and you follow yourself, and they will monitor what you have done. That's all. It's nothing coming from moon. ISO 9000 has not given you this. They say you are at liberty. We are not coming on way. So, who is there to self-monitor, self-study? ISO 9001 2015 is not God. It is you. It says you. That's it. They don't say we, they say you. But it is a requirement. It's not assurance now. That's also true. It was assurance sometime. Now it is not assurance. It is a requirement. But you, not myself. This is difference. When I say you are responsible, means you are responsible. You are writing yourself. You are designing yourself. You are implementing yourself. And you are investigating through your internal management. Then I want to see all that. That's it. Can't we understand this simple formula? What it says? Plan, do, check, act. Finish. This is formula of management. You have to plan, you have to do, you have to check, you have to act. Finished. One line. No need of reading all books. When responsibility is on your head. Previously in 2008, responsibility was not head of company. Responsibility was on head of divisional manager of quality. Or you can say direct manager of quality, not even divisional manager. Now it's different. It's organization that's responsible. You have to understand this point clearly. So organization responsible means third party is also responsible. Your organization audit. You have every right to interfere that your document is wrong. This contains errors or this contains irrelevant conditions. Technical specification you have to see. But you are saying, what can you do? It's OPC, they have defined. Yes, they defined OPC. Were you sleeping? Why did you not speak Why did the IIT professor whose proof checker did not speak? You're signing a ceiling job? Are you signing engineer? Are you stamping engineer? Or you are civil engineer? You have to find out yourself what you are. That is my attack on all. We want Indian engineers. We don't invent post offices. Engineer means engineer. Do it. That's the meaning of engineering. Not to wait for anything. We are all sitting, waiting. Some power would come and change everything. No. You are already there. You are a power. Without your order, concrete cannot be done. Without your order, drawing cannot be approved. Without your order, work cannot move. What else you want? What for you are waiting? Can contractor do something without your approval? No. So who is at fault? This means either you are not ordering correct, you are not acting or sleeping. Contractor has only contract with you and you have a contract with him. One is employer, one is employee, nothing else. There are conditions in contract, both are bound, both are equity based. Nobody is master, nobody is slave. They are paid for what they do, you are paying for what they do. They have to deliver to you. This is only relation. Where is dispute? Dispute is caused due to absence of knowledge, due to dissemination of wrong information or misconstruction of clauses. Abusive construction clauses to one's benefit. Every contractor likes to raise claims because there's a business. Contractor survives of that, but it is you who have to cross it. But you cannot cross unduly. You cannot cross unjustified. It's your duty to ensure what you are doing is right. This means you must be master of these documents you produced. You prepared those documents, not contractor. Contractor just approved them. Even if it's EPC, you approved that. Contractor just approved them in your support. But contract exists. How many civil engineers in this country understand contract? From where it comes in? How we know it is contract? Even chief engineers in some organizations are not clear about that. They are responsible for contract. It doesn't come from the sky. It's come from your contract law, Indian contract law, and support is from FIDIC or somewhere else which you prefer. But you are designer of that. You have drawn that contract. You have included some conditions. Contractor may also include some conditions. But when you say no, these conditions are accepted, you have left no room for contractor to question, which is also against management principles. When you call it equity based on justification, and you are stop, don't speak anything. Where does contract stand? And then, because you both can't solve, you are unable to solve your own contract, you have to go to reference for arbitration. Why your work is going arbitration? Because of some problems either with you or with contractor. Simple. That is what I am interested to include. All this is management. I have seen syllabus of PMP. I have seen many other syllabuses of MBA. All void as far as management of contracts are concerned. They are irrelevant. First of all, they don't understand engineering, they are not engineers. They don't understand contract, they don't understand law. So what is left for management degree, I don't know. I don't understand what actually they are educated. But based on my experience, I can say we have enough time, enough experience. If we really work in field, then we don't need any management degree. No need. If you have worked on sites, if you have worked on projects and contracts and designs and planning and quality and cost and everything, you are master of management. What actually, what do you want? What else you want? I don't understand. If an engineer who is 25 years, 30 years, 35 years experience, and he waits for someone to advise, I really feel it. No lawyer can advise you because lawyer is not able to understand your work. No judge can advise you because judge doesn't know what construction is. They require experts for their support. So why do you expect that they will understand everything? You are yourself expert. What is judge? What is law? It's nothing. Simple understanding. Your specification is a law. Your code is a law. They also read. They also understand. They refer to dictionary and they decide. So you are engineering judge. You are judge. You decide or no. You approve or no. That's also judgment. What say management is a misunderstood term. This term could not be understood by us. We manage projects means not simple supervision. It's complete process. It's a process starting from conceptual stage to final completion stage. Long process, which maybe you alone cannot understand, but there are varying professionals of varying knowledge from one stage to final stage. You may know this depending on your experience, and even if you don't know it, you read it, you will know it. It's nothing very difficult to understand. When your mind to understand, to pick, nothing is impossible. You are working on quantities, you are working on contract, you are working on management correspondences, you are working on your costing, on tender, on all that you are working. You are working on designs particularly. What else do you want? Only is lack of confidence that you can say, or hesitation you can say. Various factors are there, personality factors, no open mind, or your formal restrictions of jurisdiction, or not, that's not your job, don't do it. At that time, coordination and interrelations, or you can say interfacets are broken. If you can coordinate with others, that is also a work. And actually that's a work. Civil engineering, coordination with mechanical and electrical engineering and other services engineering, and complete interfacet of machines and equipment, and complete intercoordination of documentations and work. It's complete loop. Nowadays you can't go without that. But if you stick at one point, no, this is not my field, I am a designer. You are a designer for what? You are designer only for drawings, or you are designer for delivery of work? First you think of that. If your design imports 20 questions from site, what standard of that design is? If I have to raise queries on that design every day, what is your value? This means you have no relation to site people. You are just interested in your design and that's it. This is a quality issue. You should know, being a designer, how this work should be done, or what that person on site, unknown at time of design, would think about your design. That point must be in anticipation concerned and considered. That is not done. I have met in my life such types of problems. Even if design is from UK or from USA or from France, no designer knows design actually. They know technicalities of design, but they don't know relation to work. That relation to work on site is more important than your theory. That is more important. If communication to site is not clear, this means design is not clear, because communication is done by designs. If your drawings are not clear, if these are confusing, Site people are not that efficient that they have enough time for your design to review. They like to implement that. Simple. Even there is no seal off issued for construction, they will like to implement that. This is their field. They don't wait. Because they say, we got drawing finished, why do you worry about that? There are such people. Those are young, maybe 25 years, 30 years. They don't understand anything, just my work is that. Simple, this is not their fault. They are not philosophers, they are not professors of this. But you are their teacher, you are their director because you designed it. So my request to all designers is just keep in mind that state of work where illiterate workers, not very educated, even if they are qualified people, they are not aware of everything. Those people on sites like foremen, like supervisors, like charge hands, like general foremen, they are always experienced and they are always in a hurry to the job. They sometimes don't even listen to site engineers because they are also backed up by others of company. Hey, do this, I want this done tomorrow. This is general way in construction. Site, they ignore site because they know what this site is. No, I'll talk to general foreman, I talk to foreman, this man, come on, do it, I want this tomorrow. So site engineer is also eroded there. This situation a designer must understand. Not simple design, structural design, section, plan, elevation, all that. No, that's not enough. Command to site should be clear. You have to do this. You cannot simply write subject to this, subject to that, or on site check this. If you just like that, you have to follow your design where on site to check this. Why do you write that? You write it conditional. This should be done on site. This is way, or this is way, or this is way. Option is yours. That can be accepted. But what happens sometimes? We excavate something. We don't know what to do. Whether this formation level is right for your work or no, we don't know. Site guy cannot know. Your contract is not saying about what we have to do. Your drawing is silent on that. Either you define on drawing, this you have to consider, ensure this on site, but you don't do that. How do I know formation level is having that much bearing capacity as is the drawing? How can I know? How can I know what was in your mind? That must be reflected on design. Ensure this on site so that I have to conduct a test on site before moving further. This is a big question. Assume bearing capacity, you assumed, but on site this may be lesser than that. Or what you saw, what you thought this site should be this and this not that. Maybe I am losing money on that. Maybe there's some soft rock and you thought it is clay. That's why I'm saying management is very complicated because we are dealing with natural products, natural resources we are dealing with. We are not dealing with something hearsay. That person on site is not very experienced, that is new, fresh, budding engineer and experienced supervisors, and there is always clash between often. Because that person thinks I am more senior, that person thinks I am qualified. So decision is thrown somewhere else, but work is work. These people, you cannot expect them to be pragmatic. They can't be. That's why a project manager is posted on site. And if that project manager does not know management or does not understand everything, who shall guide? There is this point. If you employ PMP, then you lose everything. Because PMP is not technical. He is just a person to develop and to deliver. He says, I deliver, that's all. I'll take information from technical. And if technical person has to give you information, what you are doing there? My mind is little different. Mind should be analytical and synthetical both. Without analysis, you cannot understand problem. And without understanding problem, you cannot find solution. And without finding solution, you cannot do work. Simple. Work, physically doing and correct doing, both are different. We are doing physically everything. We do, but we don't understand what we have done. Projects are projects. I am talking of projects. I am not talking of simple room. I am not talking of small house. Even if it is small house, you have to write. You have to do right. I generally never take work from people who come to me and say, I just want a line for my house. Just give me line plan. When I say, what about structure out of this or that, they just say, what is structure? I have to just sell this house, or I have to, means they say as if structure is not required, to be very frank. It's not only here. This I have seen in my life itself. It may be Kerala people, it may be Tamil Nadu people, it may be whosoever. I planned for so many people during our free time, but nobody, I didn't find out of civil engineers even to think, can you get me some structural detailing? I don't blame those who are civil engineers, but even civil engineers, oh no, we'll do it. This is where we will do it. We have experts. When Tamil Nadu guy says, oh, we have experts there, they can do everything, they are very expert. Now what's meaning of expert? Same thing if I in Delhi and they have same thing, oh, just give us line plan, we'll manage. This means they depend on masons. Simple answer is, and they can do anything. And masons are of course very, very experienced people. As far as right work or wrong work, they don't bother. It may be right or work should be done, that's it. If some slab sags, just put something below that and that's solution. If the balcony is sagging, just put some circular column. It works as a structural element as well as decorative element. This is solution. What can I say? It is because engineers are off works. Engineers are not known. Engineers are not known to public. That's all. And engineers are generally in government services or private services. They are not much interested in practice, that's also true. But that's also I am not blaming. My only requirement is public should know what is done. Public doesn't believe in your drawings. They don't understand documents. Even they don't know. They say we want good work, but they don't know what good work is. A person came to me, my known person, some very close person. I have this drawing, my house, I have to construct my house in Gurgaon. Okay, he brought a drawing, duly approved by Huda. Huda means Haryana Urban Development Authority. This was prepared by some architect and approved by Huda for construction purposes, building permit. I saw that. See, this architect is demanding 80,000 rupees. I have already paid him 125,000. Now I thought, why should, he said the structural person has to charge me this much. Because I asked him, structural drawing he is not giving, he says, give me this money very fast. So I thought you can do it, I came to you. Okay, no problem, you come to me, I will help you. But when I raised some question, this person says, his intention always. I said, 3 points. First of all, I want to see your site. I want to see soil. This man hesitates. What soil? I'll tell you what he said. Then I said, your drawing is not correct. This drawing has many points which are wrong, though it is approved, but it is not correct. So you have to do whatever you say. Okay, I'm just informing you. If you use this drawing, you cannot construct house. Because the stair itself is wrong. And tell me what you have taken lift in this. Which lift you are going to buy? I have not talked. I don't know. You have not talked. You don't know. But drawing says lift is there. You give me address of that manufacturer or dealer, I'll talk to him. You are giving me tension. I'm giving tension. I want to investigate your soil. I want to go to your site. No, what investigation? It's okay. Tell me your contractor. This person came from Saudi Arab and he has experience. Okay. Which work he did in Saudi Arab? No, he's an electrical contractor. Oh my God. Well, I should electrical contractor. See, this is Zone 4 according to our national seismic plan. Zone 4 is very risky. So we have to take seismic consideration in that. What there? Nothing. This contractor says, I'll put some sand layer below foundation and it will work. So you have such expertise in this country. There is answer to every problem. For them, Zone 4 is nothing, Zone 5 is nothing. They use sand bed there and it solves problem. What you shall call those people? How can you help those people? I am not demanding any money from you, but at least help me. I want to make sure that what I am going to do is correct. You say, no, I don't want zero defect building. I don't know this new term. He told me, I do not want zero defect work or building. What is that? I could not understand. What is zero defect here? If you want to raise questions, if you want some information, they are in tension. His tension was that, first of all, that he had to pay more to structural engineer, then he was in a hurry. If I take time, I told him my contract will run away. His concern is his contract shall run away. Well, I can't help such people. How can I help such people? People like that come to me many times and I can't help those. Same thing, somebody came, I raised same question. He brought one drawing of factory, was concerned factory here. This is my drawing. You see this drawing is right or wrong? When this drawing you have done, you have gone to architect who has done it. Now why you are coming to me? No, just see, somebody told me you are engineer, you can suggest pattern. Okay, I will suggest, show me this. I told him straight away, this drawing is rubbish, throw it. This is drawing. And you are excavating, you have started excavation already. Stop excavation first. Stop excavation, yes, stop excavation. On what basis you have started? If you have started, why are you coming to me? And I want to see your soil, show me soil. Get sample. And first of all, call that contractor who's working there. I want to talk to him. He called this contractor. He also got one sample of soil. I discussed with the contractor, this type of section in foundation I want to do. Can you work? Are you capable to work this? I don't know, he talked to him something and he never came back. And that person also didn't come back. I knew they would not come back. Because soil was clay soil, they don't understand what's clay soil. And I knew it, they won't come back because they think I am sitting for money. That's the problem. They think that people are sitting for money everywhere. I have some sample of that test, and also I just usually keep. Sometimes it is too difficult to deal with common people. Because they are all misled. I don't blame them as well. They are misled. They are misled by this very highly educated illiterate. I should call them highly educated because they know everything. They know everything you don't know. They can know everything. I can see that sample. Yes, I got it. I just dissolve that soil in glass of water just to see what its contents are. If you can see this, just put some soil in a glass of water and stir and wait for 2 hours or 3 hours. You will find complete settlement of particles and turbidity and etc. And you know what percentage of what soil it is. The same thing I did for other one. You can see that. Yeah. This is my actually instant tests conduct everywhere, though it's not given in your books, but not necessarily in books. And I'll show you some quality issue also here. Quality is very important to be seen as people do. I'll show you some references here, practical that are. Let me show you that. You will be surprised to know. To see status of quality here. This is work done by L&T, and so many photographs here. How they are working, what is the standard of working. See, all water is there. There's no meaning of any control, and they work. You can see this surface. You simply see difference of patches, say even in joints. You see what sort of shutting they are using. All openings and everywhere, no consistency in work. See their precast covers, what sort of cover is this? This is a standard, you know. See, this is compaction. You can see footprints here on soil fill. You can simply see footprints if you cause an impression on soil when you walk on that, and they say it is compacted one, and they are laying concrete on that, blinding concrete, or you may call it laying concrete, whatever. Without compaction, they work, and no, this means no test, nothing, just work on, and in the specification they will fulfill everything, of course. They will produce documents of tests and everything, but on site they see if a person is 60 kilogram, this 60 kilogram, you see these imprints here. See? And this concrete is already laid, because this concrete is laid. Concrete is laid and the same thing exists. And you see this footpath here, one walkway. What is standard of this new walkway, and this is standard here. No finishes, don't see what's condition of joints. Surface, what is finish of surface, what durability it has. This is new work. Before construction, things are breaking. Before construction, they are breaking. You can see this, all break away. All rusted steel, everything is rusted, but proudly fixed in. See how they store steel? You can see this color of steel is just lying on soil. and how they fix on sites. You can see this is what, this how they terminate this. Now this is, I don't know, this is vegetable or this is steel, I can't understand. Okay. New work is this is broken, gone down itself. Storage, this is your steel. And they don't have any degree of shame as well. No. You can see what here. Can you give guarantee for 10 years for this work? Already broken. Already broken, They even put soil on that so people should not see. They, on this newly built works, they load with soil. They should not see what they are around. I was tired just to photograph this. Everywhere it was, not in one or two locations, in general, everywhere. Means everyone would have to open my camera and take photographs. The store, see, this is a still store, all this store. Well, I have taken many photos now. I will see, I should move further. You see how they work. See backfill how they are doing. This is a backfill. This is a backfill. You see, just put everything. It's 2 meters deep and put everything, and then that's the limit. No compaction, no meaning at all. I'll close it now. I just wanted to reflect something and practice, so you should not say I'm only talking. I'm not angry with them because this is not their fault. This is fault of engineers, not their fault. I can't blame that contractor. I always call our country a sleeping society, and we are. Our eyes are open. Our eyes are open, but we can't see. Our minds are open, we can't understand, we can't think. That's the only problem. Otherwise, we have no problem in this country. If we want, we can do it. If we don't want, we can't do it. That's our quality. So I should not say that we can't do it. We can do it, but we do not do it. Well, coming further now, I always say that we should do according to our requirement, according to engineering, but it's every engineer who has to change itself. Just think, if every engineer is right, if every engineer in our country works, is maybe with contractor or maybe with government or wherever, if we work, say no, we will do according to profession, can someone stop you? If everybody says that, but this is only ideal talk, this is not practical talk. I understand different definition of practical, being practical, which people call me, you're not practical. People generally call me that. You're not practical. Well, I don't understand, nobody defines that. Because they do not define, you understand yourself. Be corrupt, you're practical. That's it. Compromise, you're practical. If somebody wants something, you accept that, you're practical. If that is definition of practical, then I can't say, I can't comment on that. If compromise, if corrupt practices, if yes man, you say to everyone, yes, 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 then really you are practical. Because you are not inclined to displease someone, you please everybody. If you are practical, you should accept what others do, what others demand, you accept that. Don't fight with them. You are practical. Well, I don't understand this and I don't want to work in such situation. Simple. If I was corrupt, maybe I left one department of government in 1981. I worked there for 6 years. I left that because I had to complete my degree and I was waiting for that. That time I completed my degree and left. I did not think it again. I didn't go back there because I didn't find any engineering there. Any engineering. Yes, there was construction, there were projects, everything, but everybody was busy in only payments. Day and night sitting and working on payments, working on billing and all that. Supervision, who knows the spelling of supervision? I just give an example. In 1975 or 70, yes, 1975, I was posted in Delhi on some project, housing construction. And because I was not very senior, I was given job of sanitary and water supply for those. It was big project. Then our senior asked me, you check all this, check pipes, check this, check that, go and see. These must be according to specifications. Okay, I was just new. New practical knowledge is very difficult, very small. I asked him, give me codes. They said, no, we don't have, go and buy. I went to Manak Bhavan, buy codes and started inspecting and weighing all pipes. And I rejected all SCI pipes, all pipes, everything I rejected because these were not meeting requirements. Then same person who asked me to check that man asked me, why did you reject them? I said, these do not meet requirement, then you should not reject them. What should I do then? Should give price. No, you tell him from where to buy. Why should I tell him? It's not my job. Did I do tender for him? He signed tender. He accepted this responsibility. Why should I tell him where to buy or not to buy? That was is not available. Then what should I do? Why do you accept this? You should simply say, I can't deliver this pipe. You change the specification. Why are you saying me? This was a disputed item then. I was disputed item. You don't know this and you don't know that. Actually, I wrote in that bill, in that MB is called measurement book. At the end of that, this certification is that this work does not comply with specifications. And that was bomb for them. This was explosion. How could somebody write that? Well, I wrote that. You can't hear that. This work is not according to standard. What should I write? Is the standard one? I am not very educated, but this much I understand. That if something is wrong, you should accept. So it's fault of yours, you agreed to specification. It's fault of contractor that he accepted specification. Why did you accept something which is not available? Whose fault is that? And if it's available, bring it. If you say alternative, okay, bring alternative. What's wrong with that? We'll compare it. But they do not want such people. According to him, I should have gone to him before writing this and request him, sir, this is that, tell me what I have to do. When I am signing, why should I ask? Yes, if I am not signing, it's you to sign, okay, do whatever you want. But when I share responsibility, original responsibility, I am origin of rejection, it's my job, it's not your job. So I have written rejected. This happens. Just for some percentage of money, you accept everything. Maybe you are given 0.1%, 0.5%, 1%. For that, you destroy 98% of work. This is honesty. This is for I learned engineering. I qualified engineering examination to help these crooks, to help these crooked engineers and contractors that they do bungling on whole nation. That is not my purpose of education. Today I feel that. Why should I help these people? Wrongly. I should not help. My engineering did not teach me that. My engineering taught me bending moment, shear force, quality, inspection, all that. Where is corruption? My engineering subject was not corruption, promote corruption. If I promote corruption for these political leaders, then what is purpose of my education? We have to understand that point. Am I born to help these crooks? Sign is mine, response is mine, benefit should go to some unknown. Why should I promote that? Is it wrong? I don't want such job where because of my knowledge you enjoy. Yes, work is okay. Work should enjoy. My concrete should enjoy. My block work should enjoy. My foundation should enjoy. But why political leaders should enjoy? Why contractors should enjoy? At my strength? No, I don't permit that. That quality in engineers is missing. They promote, oh, this leader is saying, he will promote me, he will favor me, okay, I do this. Are you living for these people? You are practical, therefore I am not practical. Therefore you are practical. This is what I hate. Unfortunately, I am not very experienced in this country. It's my, you can say, bad luck or good luck, you can say. I have worked around 2 decades in Gulf countries, Middle East countries. I am used to that kind of environment where work is work. I understood work there, what's value of work. Here they manipulate everything. Paper should be filled, that's all. You have to do paperwork. Forget site. Let him do what he's doing. What happens? Engineer goes side, he'll bring a glass of lassi. jalebi or something, and maybe put some money in your pocket and sleep, drink that, let concrete go on, no problem. I saw one man, there was no vibrator. He was using a 20 diameter rod and vibrating that like this. This is Bharat compaction. Using rod, using bar for compaction. And assistant engineer was doing himself. Nonsense. This is what you are working for. A contractor didn't bring vibrator. You are using this. If you work like this, building will stay for 100 years. Beauty, this is beauty of this country. Means, how can you sleep like this, engineers? Can you sleep like this? Forget everything and drink a glass of whiskey and sleep? That is why you need whiskey. That is why you need something. That because you are having some fluffy management, some sloppy management, you want to replenish that loss by whiskey. You may like it, you may not like it, you may see this man is foolish, from where this man has come, you may hate me, no problem, I tolerate all that, I am used to that. I am happy that I did not work in this country for so many years, I am really happy that I at least did not learn that honesty of corruption, that religion of corruption, I did not learn that. I avoided that. I learned something there, what engineering is, what construction is, how to deal with, what coordination is, what quality is. I learned from those people. Not one country, many countries. How Arab works, how European works, how English works, how American works, how Far East people work, and how our people work. Everybody works there, not here only. We are all very good workers there. Because there is a stick, if you don't work, they'll beat you. Workers do, engineers do, supervisors do, and do with pride. I am Indian, I am this and I am that. Here you are not Indian, here you are non-patriotism, you are calling yourself patriot, but you are doing everything which a criminal does. That's what I tried to talk to you through this Facebook, that my conscience keeps. How many days I am going to live? I am now 66, running 1 year, 6 months, or go with this corona, who knows? Life is unclear. But until I live, I should be happy that at least I am not associating with such people. If politics comes into engineering, it is destroyed. I have not seen that politics anywhere. Here only. Involvement of these people with engineers. And engineers work for them, not for engineering. They work for them. This is really, you can say, God shall not forgive you. Remember, this earth is for God. It's His earth, not my earth or your earth, not US earth or American earth or English earth. This is property of God. And He has proved it. Whole world has failed in knowing COVID. There's no one till today who can claim I know it. So, God has taught you a lesson. And if you can't even change now, you cannot change any time. Money is something, but not everything. Wealth is something, but not everything. If your mind is not happy, if your soul is not happy, what's purpose you are living in this world? Only for your body? For your comforts? Use that, but do work correctly. You have to think for that person who has to live in that building or structure, who is unknown. If somebody says, I have to sell this building, therefore I am not interested in its quality, okay, it is for you no interest, but for me as an engineer it is interest. I am not working for you, I am working for this building. Whoever uses it, I don't care. But this building shall serve for that person who resides in that. I have to think for that. If that concept is not with me, I am not delivering justice to myself. This is my religion. Engineering, I studied for 5 years or 6 years or whole life. That is my religion. because I work 16 hours a day or 15 hours a day more than I stay in my home, more than I go to temple or mosque. I work there many hours a day, and that is worship. I was taught to work, use this formula, that formula, which means that is my worship. I don't find any worship in praying. I don't find. This is my worship. If I am not doing justice to my worship, I am not working for nature, I am not working for God, unknown God. I don't say which God. I consider that. This is my original philosophy. And I argue with people, don't tell me your religion, tell me you have done this work or no. If you have done work, fine. Don't tell me another problem. Yes, I will facilitate you, no problem. Not religiously, human basis. If you are any help as human, I will help you. But if you strike work, I will strike you. Simple. That is my foolish philosophy, you can say. I think that way. And I have been successful on that. At work time, I am with none. And not even with me, myself also. I can punish myself if I am wrong. Because work is giving us money. I am taking food from my work. That's giving me food. Why should I wait for? Means, if you cannot do justification with you, if you cannot justify your own act, you have got no right to pinpoint others. If you say, oh, you are not working, are you working? Question is that. First you ask yourself, are you working? If you go in sad mood to your home in evening, I am sure you did not work. Simple. If you go happily without any tension to your home in evening, you have worked because you are tension free. A person who has worked successfully and plans for next day cannot remain in tension, cannot remain in stress. That is psychology. So my preference is different. And I am not here to tell what I am. I am just trying to tell something how I think. How I think. Many used to criticize many people. Our country's people, not other country people, our country people. Means if you go early, your working hour starts something, you go 1 hour before or 2 hours before, they feel if something's go against them. I am reaching my work before 1 hour or 2 hours, that is my problem or your problem. I am going on holidays or post-working time, it is my problem or your problem, I don't understand. Why it pinches you? I am using my time, I am working in my time, I work at home or I work in office. Why it is a problem for someone? You also work if you wish. Who stops you? But why are you pinpointing on me? Oh, don't do this. This means there is something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. Why you are comparing yourself to myself? My job is different. I am responsible. Your job is different. You work for yourself. Why do you compare to myself and what I am doing? Why you should not do? Means it affects you. That's your concern. Somebody pinpointed me many times. You are coming, see what they think. This man is coming. This means what they think. Why I am concerned. It's my time. It's my life. How I think, how I sleep, how I work. Why do you worry? You are paid. You are doing your job. Be happy. I am mad. Let me be mad. What's your problem? Such people are called mad, or they call new term is workaholic. Work alcoholic means workaholic. They call it. Call it. It is work for which you are somewhere. It's not for your girlfriend. There is no girlfriend for you. There is no whiskey for you. You are there for work. So simple. I have to leave my country and go somewhere for what? For sleeping? Yeah, I am surprised. You have to learn. You are working in international field. Your country image goes with them. How do you work? How do you conduct? That message is transferred to other countries. They will talk somewhere. We talk about them somewhere. This is natural. And if you send a message that we are not workers, good workers, why do they like you? They know that you are different. First of all, you are cheap economically, and then you are sincere. That's why they recruit you. Otherwise, there are so many like you. It's up to you how you manage your country. It's a kind of indirect management of your country. A message goes to them, this country people are like that. Simple. They never expect British to do like that. They never expect Americans to do like that. But they expect at least our country people would work differently. And moreover, we share common culture with them. They can talk to us openly. They may not talk to others openly. There's a difference. And they used to talk. If you are sincere with them, they trust you, they be open with you, They be in person to you, they start personal relations. Means they tell you, please, I want this work done this way, some problems there, do whatever you want to do. I will give you later on whatever. They become personal in that way. So your country reaches them, in different way. If your country is your friendship having them, it's not because of Prime Minister. It is because of public of this country. It is because of workers of this country that they have good relations. They know these people are reliable. These people can be dependable. They can depend upon us. It's not because of politics. Because they know these country people, of course, they are not very highly paid, but they do something for us. There is compulsion for all nationalities to be there. This is politics. This is their national laws. But there is certain class of people, they consider that this is theirs. Means it happens. So we have to make image not that way, but our way. Only we can do that if we learn something which others do. When we do some job, in starting, when you start something overseas, you are not used to that, so certainly you will fall. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times you fall. Because nobody will guide you. In that position you will not find many people. So nobody guides you. You have to learn by falling only. But once you learn, we can read documents, we can understand, we can write documents, we can do whenever what is required to do. But other countries people can't do that. There's a benefit to us. They can't do that. We can do that. By hard work, by spending more time, by learning more, we can do that. This is our plus point. That's only point we can use it as wealth. And once we attain that, that's what I want to disseminate that. You try this, but no. It's not easy, but if you do something, at least if I have a project, I'll do that. If I have my own project, I will do that. If you can, maybe you join some company, organized company, it's very difficult to change there. It's not easy. Until you merge with that company, until you are there, means they start thinking, yes, you are theirs. You are asset for them. Then you can do something. Otherwise, in beginning, you have to enter some system, and then you have to make your system. Making your system is very difficult. This is what I say. My project manager understanding is not exactly what common understanding is. Project management means complete, and that's a quality management. Project management means quality management, I should say. Quality of working, quality of thinking, quality of approach, and quality of work. Both are there. Working management and functional management and project management, whatever term you give, it's up to you. Final milestone is quality work, and that can be delivered only by quality personnel. Quality personnel, I am saying, which includes workers, not staff alone. Quality workers who must get training from quality professionals. If they are not trained, they are not updated in the skills, they cannot do that. They will destroy material and process, both. And that's what I am saying, I am finding everywhere. But I am not stopping at that point. It's very difficult to teach people to do right work. They don't expect you to teach them because they mind it. Who are you? That's right, I am nothing. But how long shall they mind? That is my measurement. Okay, you don't mind now, you don't accept now, maybe after some time you will accept. It happens, you don't accept now, but a stage comes when you accept. It is our habit not to accept one time until it is done or it is declared by some other that this should be done. People do not adapt to that. So it is their nature, but we have to go on speaking, telling all time. And I like it. I don't feel bored that why I am telling. I am telling only what I have worked in my life. I am not telling something imaginary. I am not referring to some book. I am not saying that you follow this or follow that. I never say that. If I write something about management and I give to a publisher, I have tried that, but publishers don't accept that. And publishers also write. Reason is, they say, this is not viable, this is not marketable. They are right. What is marketable? Marketable is syllabus of program. What students buy, that's marketable. What students do not buy, that's marketable. Unfortunately, professionals in my country, they are not used to write their experiences. They may have long experiences. I talk to many doctors. They have so much experience in eye test, eye operations. Why don't you write something? What you shall take with you? You shall take this knowledge with you. Better that. But no. Oh no, I don't like this. I don't like that. And means they are ready to sleep for 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day. That's good for them. But not to contribute to post your time when you're not there. People must have. That's weakness here. So same applies to our profession. There are hundreds of professionals who have a very basic structure of knowledge, but they want to keep it with them. It's their choice. I understand when I leave this world, I will not take anything with me. It's clear. But whatever you can write, that shall be there on record. It may not be received well, it may be condemned, but it is there. One can condemn, two may accept. Two can condemn, four may accept. Life is like that. It's not easy to get fame after you are that. Critics are always there. Those who laid their lives for this country's freedom, they are also criticized. What can you do? They got nothing, but they are criticized. This is nature. Means always you have haters, so they are. Always you have your lovers, they are. So that is not in my control, in your control. But whatever is in my control and your control, at least we can move with contract on that. We may use those tracks to move further. It is not easy to change virtuality of work. Whatever people are used to, they will work that way. Until they see some other alternative, they would that way. So, only thing I can do and you can do, possibly, whatever you can contribute, you contribute. So I try to talk to people like this. But face-to-face contact is not possible these days. So whatever you can communicate, it is one-ended though. At least something works. I tried to write before so many postings on Facebook or somewhere else, or I tried to give to publishers some material. I was not successful. Never successful. This one book was published that way, I think by error, otherwise they won't publish that. That's why maybe I misled that this is very important. Though I thought that these people will read this like the practical book, this is not theoretical book. It's not because collection of many books to one book. This is work. But Later on I discovered, actually, that book was not well received here in our beautiful country. It was not related to any syllabus, not related to any program. It was just based on my small experience. But in Africa, people prefer that. In some other country, they prefer that. I'm not talking of sales, I'm not interested in that. But where I see those countries where information is not available, they respect information. What I wrote, that is different. But they search for information and we do not. We search only when we are in trouble. So publisher has also restriction. Publisher is there for profit. No publisher sitting for charity. They are not to promote my work or your work. They have to make money out of that. That book is still working, but very, very low, it's negligible. But I'm not worried about that. It works or it doesn't work. My purpose was to write my experience. Right or wrong at that time. It was published in 96. Means 24 years. So I don't expect anything. I never expected anything of that. I tried other books, but they plainly refused. Sorry, this is not marketable, viable, and we don't publish such types of practical books. And they are right. Why should they lose money because of my work? They are not sitting to promote me. I sent some text to some scripts to our institution of engineers. I did not get any response from that as well, unfortunately. That institution, it is duty of that institution to collect such, to promote such knowledgeable, you can say, information, but they are also, I think, these days bureaucratic. They have become a part of government, I think. They are not independent as I think. Means their conduct is also different. So if there is no one to promote profession, then professionals themselves have to promote. Now, fortunately, we have electronic media, we have web, we can use that. It's free. Fee means you are paying only internet fees. Otherwise, at least communication is there one way. We can talk, we can write. And when I write there, I write so much on safety also. Before you write 25,000 members there, 25 engineers, but they are all busy in bending moment shear force, this, that, not more than that. Mullah ki dod masjid tak, this their conduct. They don't want to come out from that well where there are frogs, I can say. Frogs in well. So they are more interested in designs because it is comfortable. They are expert on designs, they are structural engineers, they can sit in office and work. They don't want to see faces of site. And without sites, you cannot develop. I have been site engineer, office engineer, partly design engineers, estimation engineers, and in many positions I have been there in my life. Means you learn something. If you work in many positions, you work something, you learn something, and that learning is your teacher. And I am still interested in learning, but question is learning from where? I can't join university, I'm not interested. I can't learn anything from university. Only you can learn from new projects. And or you teach others, either of two. But there are no people who want to learn. Everybody is a commander. Everything he knows everything. Well, ultimately it is sharing of information, not learning. I try to write so much on this posting on safety, but I don't find that hardly few people who are interested to aspire or interested to gain something, but one has to keep moving, because whether people join me or they don't join me, it is beyond my control. I have no claim on that. So I just do it and forget it. Simple. Come forward, do it, leave it and come forward. Let them see this or let them discard this. This is up to them. So I started on many such postings of video. Started with not engineering but with some translation arrangement. I started with small videos because I find people, young people particularly, have some problem of English writing, English speech. English is our medium of communication. Though people may hate it, but you hate it or don't hate it. Fact is that you have to write it in a speech. You may not use English, but you have to write it in office work. You work here, you work overseas, you have to deal with that. So when you have to deal with something, you cannot condemn it. If you use it properly, it's okay. So translation is tool for our society because we are different language society. In English, if you go to England, they don't use translation. They use a different way because they just think in English. They can think in English because English is their language. But here, English is not our language, so we cannot think in English. We have to think in our language and then translate. And this is a practice. Once you do that, then you can start thinking. When you are having capture on this language, you have command on that language, then you can start thinking. But you are thinking, other guy is not thinking, then the reciprocation doesn't work. Well, so I try to just share information. Then I moved further on to safety, because safety is also very important. SHE, that is safety, health, environment, ergonomics. Ergonomics, which is of course not very subject but little different, which gives you input about how to utilize your energy, how to work safely and with complete benefit of your energy. Ergonomics, I just wrote something or spoke something about that. Then I started something about general issues which everybody must know, that is current issues. Like that I then reached this management in different form, and whatever information I have or I could have, I would keep on such videos if time permits, and if everything permits, I'll as much as possible work on that just to pass my time, you can say. That's also one greed in me. I don't want to sleep, and otherwise if you sit with no thinking, you start with drowsing, and I do so. Sometimes it happens for a few seconds you are down because of when mind is too active, it takes you somewhere else also, which is called disbalance of energy. So I just thought to share about what I think. Means maybe I am wrong, I am not sure, but as far as it leads to some result, some final consequence, that's okay. If people listen, if they can benefit or do not benefit. So I try to talk of management, and management of quality, not ordinary management, means quality management, not simple ISO 9000 says something, it is same but with different notation. They say total quality management system. Here it's not total of one system, it's total of all systems. Just like they in 2015 version, they devised a complete different mode to claim quality requirement and to share it at top level. And they left freedom to organization, that we are not concerned with all but use concern past. Documentation definition has been changed. Documented information, they say now. Documented information, which is mandatory one, which is optional, both. So they stress for mandatory one, and if you have secondary one also and you follow that, then it's considered. So it is actually one way easy, otherwise indirectly they are binding you. They are keeping you free, they are saying it's optional, but actually when you implement that, that's no more optional. If you implement that, if you include that into your statement of organization methods or quality, and you implement that, then it's not optional. For namesake it's optional, but they audit that too. You have to establish that you did that. So this is 50-50, optional and mandatory. Means they try to impose on you indirectly. Yes, you are free to do it. No, we are not stopping you. But if you do it, we catch hold of you. That's what they say. Means this is another kind of, international diplomacy. Means not to say but to say. I don't want to do what I want to do. It's like that. Well, fine, they also learned in so many years. So that they changed system on form. They abolished their guideline. Okay, we are abolishing a guideline. You adopt your own guide, but this is our format. We don't have our guideline. You are your guideline, but in this structure you have to do it. This is Annex SL. It is high structural language. You have to write what you are doing. That's it. We are giving only 10 clauses. You follow that. After your approval, you can't change them. You can't change them. You have to maintain that. But you can add subheads to that. You are mandatory bound to follow this form. You cannot run away from that, but you are free to add to that in subtitles. What do you call this? They are binding you or they are reminding you? They are gripping you. In fact, they are gripping you in name of liberalization. Oh, you are free. You are right. Smart management. I am not saying to anything, but you have to stay in lockup. I am not arresting you, but you have to go to jail. This is what they say. You have not done a crime, but I am writing a FIR. This is new management. I like it. I like it. You are free, don't worry, you are autonomous, but I am your jailer. What else do you want? People deserve it. People had made fun of IS 9001, 2008 and before that otherwise. They just abuse system. All quality people abuse system. You ask something, why I do not point out this? No, I had written in my observation, they did not follow that. They did not follow it, but did you follow that? Why didn't follow it? No answer. Your job, just by writing on something, my observation, and give to them, after that your job is over. That is a point. Now you are bound to end it, like NCR, non-conformance report. In fact, whole annexes converted to NCR if you don't follow it. Previously they used to say I issue NCR. In remote cases, in rare cases you can say I issue NCR, and people used to start shivering. Oh, if this man writes NCR, my payment shall stop. Yes, your payment shall stop. Otherwise he would simply say, I have written to them, they didn't follow it, what can I do? Then you resign and go if you cannot do anything. You are quality engineer. You are saying, what can I do? This is your response. This means you don't understand the meaning of engineer. Quality engineer means you have to engineer quality. It's not a clerk job. Quality engineer you are. It is your responsibility. Of course, it is that person's responsibility, but it is also your responsibility. Either you don't understand this or you don't have command. And if you don't have command, record that. You don't have command. Did you record that? In quality system, you are independent. Though you are paid by that person, but you are independent. You have authority. You can't use your authority. If you can't use your authority, you are not qualified. Just keeping quality person is not adequate. That quality person must speak for requirements. You are not slave to site people. You are not slave to company. You are paid for doing your job. I know people say you are working for us or for that. This is generally every countryman thinks. Those who don't know what quality is, they will say, "Oh, you, this man is working for us, or this man is working for that." They say like that. It's not their fault. They don't know what quality is. Working for whom? That is not a question. Working for job, that's the question. Even you are working in a company, you are working for job. You are deployed to work for project, not for company. This point they don't understand. Raise your questions right and then check why action was not taken. That point they don't do. When it is said in a hot stone, they throw a stone on the head, they say, I have written. They did not respond. That's why there is complete floppy quality, sloppy quality. And if there is no quality, there is no project, remember. If you don't use quality, your project is rubbish, complete rubbish. And you certify that it's under quality, this has been for quality, then you are giving false statement. Your record is something, your statement final is something. How can you do that? Either it is quality work or it's not quality work. Simple. You cannot stand on both. This is my target. It is my target as a person, as an individual, as an engineer, that quality target we have to reach, which we have condemned, we have ignored so far in majority of cases. If I test generally on concrete, generally, because concrete is major element, not cost wise, product wise. It may be lesser in cost, finishing items are more expensive, AC may be more expensive, electrical will be more expensive, but all those major expenses depend on this. All those major expenses depend on quality. Concrete is so simple we say, but it is very difficult we accept. If I ask someone, what is concrete? I think 90% people could not answer. Because question is not clear, but it is very clear. Question looks to be unclear, but it is extremely clear. It was my opportunity once in 2000 somewhere, 1999, I was in Madras for some interview, to conduct interview of people. I'm just referring to what sort of people understanding is. One PWD superintending engineer, he came, I don't know for what he came. He was superintending engineer in government. What you want to go there? He came for Qatar, not Qatar, Abu Dhabi. He told me, well, first I was impressed with, I don't understand why this guy is coming. They are not suitable for those work. Unnecessarily they want to join. I don't know reason for that. I have met many government servants, many government officers, engineers, who just want to go for what I don't know. Well, I just raised one question to him, nothing else. That was what I asked now, what is quality, what is concrete? A superintending engineer working in government, if you ask him a question, what is concrete, and that person looks like this, means he did not answer that. I think he could not understand what I asked. And he left. And another engineer came, also superintending engineer. He came to Iraq. He was in Maharashtra. Superintending engineer told me, I'm in Maharashtra. Why over here? No, I just came, I wanted to see something. He was given some assignment. start this building. He was government officer, superintending engineer who never visits sites permanently, just for 1 hour, half an hour, once a week. So he was just sending some paper slips to someone, do this, do this, do this. He did not start anything. He asked me, I'm not able to, you are superintending engineer, first of all you should not come here. Here engineer definition is different. When they ask you, you should have started excavation by now. How to start this? Of course you have to start this. It's your building. It's your job. Who will start this? Well, he was surprised. I have to stand here. I have to arrange everything. Yes, you have to stand here. It's not what you work. You supervised previously. You only did supervision job, and that also through someone else. You did not supervise directly. But this is Arab world. This is European world. This is American world. Here, your style won't work. You are here in real firm, in real engineer's firm. You are not manager here. You are not governor here. Once you start it, that's all. Others will work there. You say, I can't do that. Okay, I'll go back. Well, that's up to you. Don't ask me. You just ask me, I advise you. So I could not understand also. I also could not understand that. I failed. But once you understand what is meaning of engineer in international world, then you can do that. They don't differentiate between your contracting company engineer or your consultant or your what. For them, engineer is an engineer. Simple. They say, do it. One person says, you are past. Your engineer says, prove it. They say, prove it. And you prove only when you do it. You be a designer, design it. You are a site work, do it, deliver it. You are a planning, do it. Means whatever you are, you prove that you are educated. But they are right. What's wrong with that? You learn, they say you, what you learn? You learn, do it. Why are you asking me what I have to tell you? You do it. If you can't do it, then you are unsuccessful. Simply. This is straight talk they do. They don't hide something. So I learned such lessons from them. I also could not understand what for I have gone there. But those who know, they do their job. When you talk to them, to their engineers, other engineers, technically, they feel very happy. Oh, this man knows. This man is qualified. And if you don't talk to them, they are rubbish. Don't talk to them. I was just fixing one cat ladder, cat ladder, steel, very, very small item. One of my colleagues said, don't talk to this resident engineer, he's Iraqi, he's very tough, he laughs, he smiles, but he takes very bad action. No, just avoid them. No problem. I was fixing that cat ladder, steel bar U shape. He came to me, this is not good, this is not good. Something was saying, actually he was testing me. I told him, what is your question, tell me. He told me, this is not correct, this is not designed by right. Tell me how it's not right. Tell me where it's wrong. What average person weighs 70 kilogram, 80 kilogram, 100 kilogram. What is length of this? 30 centimeter, 20 centimeter. It's cat ladder. Maintenance I will go on this. So what is bending moment? What is shear force coming on this? You cannot calculate. This 25 or 20 mm diameter steel, how much it will resist? This is simple. This skipped away. When you talk to them in crossing, he didn't know what I was talking actually. He was just trying to test me whether or not I understand what I am doing. So many times it happens. You have to meet such other countries' people. Nothing wrong with that. You are there for this. They will test you. You test them. We test each other. And moreover, this different one. You cannot be deployed on a project. particularly if you are from contracting company, you are required to be approved by that organization who is supervising your work, that department, government body. Your CV must be recommended by consultancy company and then by government. Only then you work there. Otherwise, you cannot be allowed to work. This is different kind of management. This happens. Here, who bothers? Formality, okay, keep this CV and never question. I had one, I'm just trying to tell you something, I'm not skipping for some talk today, I'll talk that way. I was on a very small project in Qatar. Recently, this was, I think 2004 or 3. I have one surveyor type person from Kerala. He came as quality engineer. Quality engineer, big job. I didn't ask him, okay, your quality company recruit, what can I do? Come. He didn't know. Actually, he was not an engineer. Fake certificate. Fact is that. I didn't know. He was recruited. One day, this consultant, he was from Pakistan, but government consultant, Qatar Petroleum, and qualified, of course, was MTech. He called me and called that person. He was doubting me also. He asked that person, what is your qualification? He didn't reply, he just whined, and said, okay, what is your schooling, from where did you pass your school? This person failed to answer. He did not answer satisfactorily, just to twist him. Then he asked me, from where you are qualified, what is your qualification? Means, sometimes you are also in same induction. This man is also, maybe this also doesn't know. I told him that I passed from Calcutta. This engineering, oh, you are from, yes. Then he, okay, you can go, later on we'll talk to you. Later on he talked to me, this man is fake. I don't want him here on this site in any position. See, people don't know job and they join job and they bring their bad name to country. If you are not having any qualification, how can you apply for quality engineer position? I really learnt lesson there, and I don't know how that British manager recruited him. That person was British, came to the interview us. How could that person recruit such person? You have no background. You are coming as quality. You have to see yourself. This is breach of trust. So such people you see in your life. And that's why I don't trust anybody. It's not first case. There are so many other cases I have seen. So many people like that. In Libya I met such engineer. Well, I don't say that because sometimes no need of speaking. You all know this happens. That's why management has many accesses from sources which are bad or good. Concrete, I talk always, which is widely used material and which is least understood. It's widely used but least understood because we don't want to understand it. We want to do concrete physically, mechanically, but we don't want to understand it theoretically and it structurally. We don't understand that because they say if you understand too much, you stop job. That's what common understanding. If you learn everything, you will not help me and I will lose this job, I will do like this. This is generally they think. Well, I was talking about Annex SL, on which document basis I try to compose my system, like general contracts, like supervision, and like execution. Like that, I had discussions with you in all those 10 clauses. And based on that, I continue to define quality controls on various items. These items which are generally used in on projects. Well, I'm not from bridges field, I'm not from roads, and I'm not for railway or other infrastructures. I'm simply from buildings or from structures in oil sector, in refinery sectors or other sectors where foundations are used, heavy and light both. And in buildings, these are rarely heavy, always light, except some raft or like that, or in some very big warehouse building, which is also part of plants. So this kind of experience I had in structural building, that's RCC buildings, or in facilities areas for few years where I worked. Based on that, I tried to assemble and think and write, because in those days when you are on project, you cannot think and write on what you did, but later on you can think on that and at least produce some documents for yourself that can be used even by yourself or someone else, because you cannot remember everything all time. You need some feedback, and that feedback is your on record. So based on that, I just try to assimilate my information on this and explain some items, these items which were this was a quality assurance requirement, or requirement I say, and I included in that. First was setting out and excavation. This was an item I have discussed this, in which is also included hand excavation. And what happens? Why it's not doing some problem? Oh my God, yes, it's not responding. Yes. Yes, it's responding now. Then this is formation, and after that is blinding. Then it is concrete protection or waterproofing, we call it. After that was footings, foundations, and stub columns, backfill, and that grade slab, and RCC columns for superstructure. Then RCC walls. That was RCC lift well walls. After that, longitudinal stairwork. Then suspended slabs, RCC suspended slabs. Pedestal footings. Then RCC footing blocks for structural steel framing. And then generator and alternator, that discussed last time, but items I could not discuss, only I just discussed superficially and showed you sketch of that one. And that sketch I showed to you, probably I have now, I just remind you, rough sketch. It's not exactly what a sketch should be, not on AutoCAD, because I did not compose it on AutoCAD, and I didn't do that. Only a rough sketch. It is, means maybe you get it or not, I don't know, but say this is, it is like this. If you can see that there's a framing on top, beam frame, on which this machine is going to sit or site, really connected. Then there's vertical columns, which is thick and massive blocks, and there is a foundation, deep foundation, deep in a sense of depth, not deep otherwise, massive block. This is, so there are three structures in this, and if you see, it's like this is section, you can see foundation, columns, and tabletop it is called, and this is its column section here, which has about 1.5 or 1 thing, and you can see steel bars and plates and plates, steel plates with tanks for purpose of various, you know, this is a general and this is a elevation of fixing this tanks with plates in column. And of course this is foundation is on the arrow, and this massive block is written here. Then thermal curing is written here, which is they are explained. I will review that. And this is concrete to be poured in steps. It is that direction of program. How do we do concrete in such big foundations, just avoiding cold joints and flash setting. This is just normal drawing, nothing to do with this. I did not detail it. And this is our. So there are actually three major elements in this: foundation, columns, and topping. That's tabletop. Its items now, which I listed, I explained total yesterday. Listing I could not complete because of time. So list is, it says that, let me just blow it up. It's actually available on text. If you see URL is there, it's available on script.com. This URL on text will find, you will get this. There are two types of URLs. One is for this list, and there's others follow up of safety previous videos. So I put all links there. You can find this also in one of many URLs, and all safety URLs. So now it says checklist for the RCC footing blocks. Where is gone? Yes, checklist for RCC for DC generator and alternator foundation works. It says that components involved are raft, alternator foundation in thick columns forms isolation between generator foundation and raft, and generator foundation on isolation raft. Well, all that. Now what we are thinking, ensure setting out on blinding. That's a very common item. We assume that excavation has been done. I'm not going to repeat excavation, how we used to do. It is assumed that it's done, because once you have explained, only we have to keep in mind about water. If there's any water in that soil which may cause some problem, and that problem has to be taken care of by continuous dewatering from that, from whatever type of soil it is, whether it's clay soil or it's sandy soil, it's rock soil. And if there's water table, that extra care we have to take. Means without continuous bailing out of water from that depth and up to that depth, you cannot continue structural work, because area should be dry out. And once you come up, where your foundations come up and cross that water table and water content, then you are free to move further. But that I don't include that. I'm just narrating that in case. And there are two types of dewatering systems depending on what type of soil you have. One is well point system, and other one is submerged pump and just bail out directly. If it's clay soil, so silty clay, and there's no sand in that, means water cannot move freely through permeability because of clay which is a porous soil, which can store water in porous form but cannot allow water to freely move through its root of pores. That clay property is very dangerous for that issue, because clay, when contains water, it can increase in volume, and when it dries out, it reduces in volume. Both situations are grim and non-acceptable for foundations. In case it is that, means if you have to go down 2 meters, 3 meters, you have to bench out excavation and provide, well point system, which is means very thin wells or pipes, you can say, goes into below water with filters, and above are connected with header pipes, and that header pipes are further connected with this big pump, or we call in names Miller pump or some other pumps, which extract that water, and that water is collected and disposed into some manhole or somewhere else, depends on the site. That's one part of dewatering, which is continuously, and this complete circuit of this well points or simple well. All wells will be completed, so water is circulating in the pipes and then pulled by power of power of propulsion of pump and drawn into or disposed into manhole. It's one part of dewatering. Other part is that where it's a sandy soil which permits movement of water through its soil. Or this goes like, you can just ram down or grade down your ends of excavation. Excavation ends, I'm saying, not full excavation. Then that water is collected into certain sump, either one side or both sides of excavation, from where you can, by using dipping in submersible pump, take it out down and dispose it somewhere else. That's specific, which I do not include in this, but that can be done if so required. Otherwise, follow that. This is called dewatering activity. So that is dewatering activity, and you further that. So I say, ensure setting out on blinding, that's okay, or it's not okay. You can know only after setting out. Once you find that your layout is okay, then you can say its levels, etc., which you have to be clear about. And also, it's not simply blinding, you have to check for, before blinding, you have to ensure that your soil, your formation is competent one, is competent in a good way, state that you can start your work. In way you think that there's some problem with this clay soil, or this detrimental effect soil like other one, you may face problem in future. That state requires soil replacement or soil improvement, which is only solution for such soil. If you want to eliminate clay base from there, say say 300 mm or 400 or 500 mm, depending upon what sort of soil that is. And if you know borehole logs, what it says, if these logs say require something, that the soil at that level is not very good, that by excavation also. So you have to provide, you have to recommend or do it, soil improvement on all that area. Soil improvement means you have to take out this weak soil, clay soil from all that depth, and replace by mix of granular graded soil that you can import from outside your project, and soil which you have stocked somewhere, you can ensure whether it's useful or not. If that too is not useful, either you can say, we did not get information, say, from that laboratory. We should get it if you give them some job. And that, if you need soil improvement, is mandatory, or you think it's there, then you have to discuss with relevant designers and remove bad soil, weak soil, and replace with granular soil. Means dry condition, for example, you first lay with 40 mm aggregates and then fill up voids of 40 mm aggregates with 20 mm aggregates, or then followed by 12 mm aggregates or lesser, and then some dust on that, so that it's a granular cohesion mix, and you compact that with dry water or with water, just like you do in water mechanism roads, and you can increase effectiveness of the soil. Probably you will find increase of 20, 30, 40% of bearing capacity, which is much helpful in your project. And once it's a base, or it's like a filter, and water moves it pass through these holes, these voids, but it doesn't go up into foundation by any action of this. So you should understand this point, rather than who is elected or selected. Point is that how much you are elected. That was the purpose of this research. Before I said this, before starting of blending, we have to think that. And after that, once you do work, soil improvement, and then only we can start this blinding work. And this blinding work, once you start, you have finished it. And on blinding, you have to do your protection of concrete from soil. That's particularly called waterproofing generally. Its purpose waterproofing is there if water is there. If there is no water there, the purpose of waterproofing is defeated. Purpose of soil impact on concrete surface is considered. So if there is no water in your soil, you can say this membrane, bituminous membrane, would work as protection against chemical impacts of soil particles, that may be sulfates or other one or it may be some metal properties of aluminum glass. That is very much important. So that point is very clear. We will start waterproofing or protection of concrete, which is cold application probably or hot application depending upon your job is. If job is in live field where there is oil work, there is a gases moving in there, you cannot do torch, you cannot use torch application, you have to go for cold application, and this area is free of all these gases, envelopes, gases moving around. Then you can, it depends on, you can use hot application or torch application. You have to put all overall blinding, and blinding requires to be concealed by that membrane, and this membrane then when sets you have to test it and do all requirements what specifications say. It may say call your contractor for this purpose, and contractor will come and you have entered agreement with them. That's what is said, that you have to be with your all that. After that, you know, blinding and this waterproofing is over. You have to take precaution measures on this waterproofing, because this is subject to damages, subject to punches of people walking on it. You have to protect all that, and the protection can be caused by another layer of cement mortar or chemical layer, whatever is that. That chemical layer probably may be called this layer, because protection layer for this waterproofing. So this first is your water dewatering, then second is your cleaning and cooling water, and third is after that production of layer, and then actually your structure will start from that level, which you have to lay out again. You have to complete all layout from this reference levels, and your layout for foundation is governed by that moment. From that moment, then you have to start real layout for purpose of laying your foundations or massive block, what I said, on that and that mortar layer. You have to mark clearly where is your foundation, and you have to mark clearly how many columns are to be stationed in that, to be connected in that point as well, along with this rectangular block of foundation and all those columns. And if something else is there, for example another column for some other purpose, or you have to mark area where your vertical position, your anode, cathodic position anode would be, but that can be marked later on also. But at this time you need to start your shuttering work, form work on these external sides, and simultaneously you have to start, if you have your bar bending screws already, fabrication or cutting and bending of all the reinforcing bars, whole reinforcing bars of this proposed foundation. So all lines over this base are over. I mean to say line work for this massive block, and line work for columns to be inserted here. This must be in position, and then you can start with very rapid speed. If you are clear, bar bending schedule, fabrication of rebars, uncoated rebars. I am just particularly saying uncoated rebars, ribbed of course, but uncoated, because we are going to use cathodic protection on those bars, and both fabrication of forms and fabrication of rebars must move together, so that you start your rebars there before you start your shutting one, fixing on site. Many higher diameter, and you must have, in interest of job, mechanical connectors. Mechanical connection, maybe you know, not sure, means in place of overlap, Alternative to overlap is mechanical connectors, tested, duly tested in laboratory, must have tensile strength according to laboratory test. These connectors are provided in tension as well as in compression bars, and particularly of higher diameter, say 25 or more, or 20 to 2 more, depends, because this avoids congestion first of all, because overlap is not very effective in higher bars. So we assume that's effective, but in fact, practically speaking, lower bars is fine, but higher bars, 25 or more, please do not provide good bond between steel, and that's not guaranteed, but connector can guarantee that these are connected buttons end to end, vertically or horizontally. I think that's better. Otherwise, overlap are done without any hitch. These are done because these are permitted by specification. So I don't mind that also, but practice should be done for attaining better quality. And once you do this complicated steel in foundation and particular design of machine foundation, this machine foundation, because it is foundation for generator, a big one, or generator, or you can say compressor, whatever, means you are going to do that. It's tabletop, heavy foundation it is. It must be care of. We must be good supervision and good design. And designer only knows what sort of thing. It's a massive block failure indicates that weight of machine has been considered. For BHP is considered how many BHP that engine is, and what mass or what weight of concrete is, on certain basis been considered. Otherwise, this long machine foundation is not simply related to bending moment or shear force or frequency. They calculated natural frequency of this foundation and related to operating frequency of that machine, which both must be different. More than two, if you take natural frequency and operating frequency are divided by natural frequency or vice versa is 0.5 to 2. In that limit, within 2 or else. If you come down from both ends, you go, let us say it's equal, which is a dangerous situation, which is called resonance, in our engineering term. If both frequencies reach tally, equal, this very dangerous situation where foundation can fail or machine can fail, that's called resonance off. And resonance should not be accepted, it should be avoided. And there's a guideline for all this, what should be done. So that's why it's big foundation, is they try to increase natural frequency of that, probably. And when foundation is so big, say 25 meters length and 10-15 meters width, and complete mass block with columns, in heavy columns, 1.5 by 1.5 or 8 meters up. So this is considered quantity of concrete in both. So weight of concrete is much, which means they must have taken into consideration BHP of this machine and what 1 BHP should be equal to weight, and probably they consider weight of this foundation for design purposes. And of course they have taken reasonable quantity of steel, which must be appreciated, though it is not done new, probably it has been done based on some experience or some past record. So this is what I say, that we have to, after marking for steel fixing and for direction of this you can say foundation lock, you must have reference on ground itself where this foundation layout is. You must have fixed some points on you can say timber positions on all 4 sides where layout of your foundation directs. By using theodolite or whatever means, you can do that, and fix levels as well. Benchmark levels already transferred by GPS. If not transferred, you should have done this. So you are going to start at, of course, level you have fixed for bench or blinding, which indicates that they are available. Benchmark for levels as well as for coordinates, so they are available, and you can be ready with your starting your fixing of the shield bars, and possibly with fabricated covers, fabricated spacers. So this work moves for say 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and say whole day probably, depending on what steel is, and steel is fabricated or not fabricated, that point must be considered. So we have both ready now. We have to connect steel plates of ply horizontally. Let's say this is around 1.25 meters, and we take this 11 plies. You'll say something is available there, and that's where we require this. Once you get this, you can further move forward. You have complete base to measure layout in upper levels, and you have fixed covers. Then you can erect items. You can erect your steel is over already. Your people are working, or two sides you can erect, or where steel is taking one side, three sides you can erect. And this be clear that this formwork is not connected together, means both sides are free. This is a big one, there's no bolt as such. So you have to be extra careful in that management of formwork, its design, its fabrication, how you do it, how you control your ends, because there is no internal connection to just like in columns or walls. Use bolts, tie bolts here, there's no such system. It's free, it's all four sides. So you have to be careful, you have to connect from ply to ply in whatever position you have done it, and you have to use extra supports for that. Otherwise, there's no internal control, there's no internal bolt in that. That type of design used to do. You think a lot on that. And since it is down, means there is support of all, so propping may not be a problem. So you can use additional supports. In additionally, you have to three supports are, that means mandatory, top one, bottom one, and where hydraulic pressure is resultant, L/3, H/3. Three are mandatory, but you can put more in between. Let us say you're putting supports at 50 centimeter or 1 meter distance. You can use 60 centimeter distance or 50 centimeter distance, so that your ply, your shutters do not move during pour. So you say that you're fixed and you're placed in your formwork as well as steel rebars in definite places, and that is where your activity goes off. Then you have to be, this was just rough work so far. Now you have to fine tune that work, it's very important. So we'll further, it says, ensure reinforcement of raft is correctly fabricated and placed within layout. Ensure proper concrete covers are fixed, and ensure cathodic protection is carried out if so required. Point is, if so required. I'm sure you know cathodic protection, what it is all about. And if you are not clear, I'll just briefly explain cathodic protection. You know that steel gets corroded if it's not coated one, if it's not epoxy coated. If you are using bare bars, there is all possibility that moisture enter in. Wherever you work, there's a possibility, because sometimes relative humidity is 90%, sometimes 85%. Moreover, all such products are located near sea, essentially because it is linked to refinery and linked to offshore. So there must be sea somewhere if you want to install such oil projects. So moisture is certainly there. Sometimes 40%, 50%, 70%, 80%, 90%, depending on weather, almost. So that moisture content must penetrate into your concrete. It does. So because this is a very expensive project, you have to control this oxidation onto steel at whatever cost. So technology is cathodic protection. Means all foundations you have to link to a control center that's called central corrosion control. Cathodic protection, cathodes are the, and anodes are fixed on concrete, within concrete, outside concrete. And these are fixed within concrete, means its circuit is within concrete, but its control point that's on some column or somewhere, that's called anode. Anode is fixed on your receiving end, or you can say at foundation, and cathode is at centralized location that can control, that can pull out oscillation from bars whenever these access there, and that's the whole purpose of cathode protection. Means there are two types of that. Generally I have seen maybe more. One is critical and one is non-critical. And critical means it is very intensively done, and that is all steel parts are connected together by GI rope with C-type clamps. Every bar is clamped and connected by this rope. Generally if you have basement, this will be through basement upwards, and these are taken up for control of corrosion. And also if you go to second one, that is buildings or otherwise, there's different one. And also there's a clamping, otherwise non-critical, that you have to just to put some bar at some bar, and one boss is there, they will leave it to connection. So that type of connections are there, which can further we have to check that, and these connections are checked by ensuring voltage connectivity, that current must move in those bars if they are connected. So that's called voltage check, that must be tested. If there is some gap or doesn't move, means connection or links of these are missing. These are not connected, all are not connected for cathodic protection. Current voltage must move through all bars. Only then it will be called actionable. Otherwise this will work as cathodic protection. Then we move to ensure forms are erected rightly in plan to alignments. I already discussed that, we have to check that. Then ensure concrete top levels. Yes, concrete top levels means up to which level you have to pour concrete, that's called top level, which and you can fix some strip there, or some whatever indicator you have, you can fix according to availability, or you fix nails there, means depends. Then ensure alternative foundations, reinforcing bars are placed in correct position. Yes, because raft is common for all, this foundation is common for all, so you have to provide alternative foundation rebars placed in correct position. Then your covers you have to see, then pouring concrete and curing activities for defined period. Now since we have completed our work, let us see that you have also to provide bars for steel of columns, thick columns of mass materials. You have to provide spacers, concrete spacers. Of course they provide, but ensure that, because this is heavy mesh, heavy vertical, many layers steel, and many vertical positions in sides, and covers may be many, and particularly much load is there on base. So one cover may not be enough, so you have to ensure more covers on breadth. And also you are welding to your cathodic anode, is anode on your valve. This wire is connected, this is connected to your locator, or what is it, this rod is, and this is connected to your all these bars in foundation, and these bars again lead to this anode. This anode is linked to all these catenary, or you can say C clamps of critically all foundations, and in some cases also extended to these anode. Anode is connected to all bars, and continuity text must be connected. Even if a single bar is disconnected, this won't work for corrosion control. That is sole purpose of this. So we have to ensure all concrete spaces are placed in right position. So how many checks are there? After excavation, after blinding, and after waterproofing, form work design and its control for fabrication and erection, the steel fabrication and erection, anode, and this cat C clamps and wire, and these are many, and supporting system of formwork. So all this is like perfect, and then you have to provide starter bars for these columns, which must go in, because this column is considered monolithic with the slab. So whatever number of bars are there, you have to fix accordingly from below, and then complete work is to be reviewed, inspected, And of course, you have to write a method statement for that. That's very important. If you don't write a method statement, how I do this, how shall you follow up on site, that must be crystal clear in writing. Because this is not one bag of cement concrete or two bags of cement concrete. This is going to be maybe 400 or 500 cubic meter in that foundation. That I call massive block. Massive block. This quantity of concrete is not small, and more dimension of this block is big one. That's why I call massive, and ordinary concrete can't be used on that. Even PFA concrete cannot be used on that. So that is different type of concrete. Because nobody was clear, and I was arguing those people. How do you say that this is justified? You given writing is right. Then I can answer what you want to see. I answer to that problem. That's one part of this. Means it's not small pore if we consider structurally, and we know it will be cast by machine, we know it well, but proper care of steel bars is a must, even if it's not difficult. So my point is, we are ready with that. We will find to see who are there. Let me see. Maybe people are interesting one. Mr. Venu Yadav, welcome. Mr. Ma Manlingus, well, welcome. Mr. Detari, welcome. Mr. Minus, welcome. I think I have to love you. And well, over there, fine. This is very complicated talk. It's not easy. It depends on experience. What I'm trying to say, you have to write a detailed method statement. First of all, for your own convenience, that you know what you are going to do, and also for those person who associate with you and supervise that, and also for quality person. It must be known to everybody what you plan to do. So what we plan to do is that we have a port to do, and site is not small, there's no squeezed area. We should know what time concrete starts and how we manage that. We have what? We have trucks, concrete trucks, we have concrete pump, we have some circulation route. Means it should be such route of movement that truck comes in to pump is a station at one place or two places depending on speed, and then how it goes back to the transit mixer after evacuating it. It must go to washing site. First of all, you have to plan accordingly. It's not similar trucks comes and vacates. It comes where it parks first, where you have to take your slump and other tests, and then we can't return it. We cannot abuse this power, and to see where does it stand, how we manage it. That's the point. If we are free to manage it, how many trucks we need, what is frequency of those trucks, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, and how many masons we need there, how many workers we need there, all that we must have on papers. And on top of that, we must have sequence of pour in our design. Now, how many pours are there? Say it is 2 meters you are taking, 2 meters width of a step, and there's a 25 meters length, so you have 12 steps. And how many width? You have 12 steps, whole long width, and this 12 step is 20 times. This is 240. 12 steps in 12 vertical. 12 vertical. This is. You can multiply with that. Answer is whatever answer you get. You have, let us say 6 or 7 layers in vertical. It's 2 meters or 3 meters, depending on. If it's 2 meters, and if you take average 40 centimeters, you have 5 layers or 6 layers, depending on those layers, and you have 2 meters this way, 12, so 24 layers, 25 layers. these concrete thick layers you have to lay. It's not half-hazard work, it's planned work. If you have one pump, you can use one pump. If you have two pumps, you can use two pumps. That is not binding. It depends upon how you think. Now you have a plan, then maybe you don't have that plan on paper here, but I can show you that plan, which is very, I yesterday also showed to that, just to remind you again, just a minute of question. Let me see if I remember that. It should be with me. I'll just show you the plan, application and files, and I think it should be there. Let us see if I can show you that or not. Book number statements, yes, it's here. Chapters, and this is sketches. Yes, I got it. So we are doing mass block concrete. So I say mass block. I will show you how we do that. Yes, it started. So I will show you some only sketch. Let us say though it's for compressor, not for this, but let us say actually how it works. It's like this, It's for compressor, not for this. Yeah, I can get this as well. Yes, compressor foundation it is, and irregular masons, how many we need here, and other helpers, and those, and pump location, for example, shown here. Same thing, other ones are. Let me squeeze it little, so it's much better than this. Now you can see these layers. Now it is vertical section, number of layers is written that, and top dimension is there, what spacing should be, and this number of layers. Then come down, we'll find something else, and that is how we plan it, and that is how we plan it. Let us see. Etc. This plan of this, how we plan it to pour. Yes, I want to say is that it's shown on this sketch two indications. One is plan of the steps, is how we plan to pour this. Plan is it's the steps parallel to your width, parallel to width steps, and then which vertically it shows in section. So we write it there, for example, original is number 1, there are 2, base 1, then 2, and then 3, and 4, 5, and I like it should move sloping. That's what's required. Why? It's because of cold joints avoidance and flash setting. Flash setting is not related to cold joint, but that is very important one in high temperature areas. So cold joints we can, because previous concrete should not start setting before next concrete is laid. That's full purpose. And maybe you can allow a gap of 20-30 minutes, not whole hours in your interest. Don't think that what manufacturer says that's admissible. We must ensure by our means. So we understand planning, we know where's position of pump, position of this position, that position, all these positions, we don't want to stop, means there is this position and that must be there. There's banksman standing, there's this operator, and concrete goes faster. And you can say if you get 25 cubic meter per hour or 15 cubic meter per hour, how many hours are going to take? Because you are tired then. I am tired, I don't know how to do it. That's a very important point. Then we have to pour it, which will take about probably. Now after that, what we have to see, when we start pouring first sequence, we have to follow same sequence. It's not simply pouring. before every truck comes. You have to maintain quality controls, slumps, cubes, temperatures, everything. You have to control everything. Of course, this is, I say, this concrete person, batching plant guy, that must be in advance instructed what that person has to do, what sort of slump is required, and what are your controls. That guy should know, and they must check on batching plant itself, and then we have to check on site what is slump arrival of slump and temperature of concrete, and there should be no delay on that project. It should be said, but must be checked. That movement we can go through. It say it starts at, let's say it says 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the morning, goes to be earlier. So then your heat starts. So eventually you have to start on such a day when you are convenient, and if you say you are in 35 cubic meter per hour, or if you have two pumps and they are using 40 cubic meter, and this is 8 hours you have to do, or 6 hours you have to do, whatever you do, it depends upon anything. After doing that means you have to do it in layers and slump and all that, vibrate and bring whole foundation filled up to required level. And wherever columns are coming after finishing that, finishing I have to say all layers you lay, vibrators you apply, not without vibrators. Vibrators should be applied according to requirements as to interlock to previous layers, all new layers, and define time for probably whatever we try to. Now onwards, after we do that, you have closed complete foundations and exposed bars of 62. Now, if you have done that, all foundation, you have cleared latents from all these columns. You have to protect this for curing. Immediately spray curing compound if you have, otherwise you spray on this quality agent. Now come on to this latent clearance and protect it by using thermal curing approach. I explained to you thermal curing before. No flooding here because depth is more, shuttering is there on sides, shuttering itself is a curing, but you have to put either sand on that first, on whole exposed surface, cover with polystyrene and or rubber or something else, so that whatever heat is generated inside should not be allowed to reveal together. If it's not allowed to roll over leather, you have to. Flooding is not permitted in this case. Flooding is not permitted. You have to keep watch on this at least for 2 days. And that's point where we are concerned. Means whatever heat generation is evolved in your concrete, that heat, that energy should not be allowed to escape from foundation. Or I will say there should be no loss of heat from foundation body. That must be contained within, so that your concrete is cured by heating and not by cooling. That is sole point here. Now, if you see further, and that is pouring concrete we are done. Now ensure steel plate mounted. Well, that's something. Now let's go to other one. That is it's gone. Yeah. heavy compressor foundation. You can see now well is done. Yes, columns now. Checklist for RCC tabletop column work. This is not ordinary column actually. This column is for tabletop. Here machine is working, heavy machine. This machine is vibratory. This machine cannot move this way or that way automatically. So this support is not exactly what you think in other buildings. It's not, it's not bending moment oriented or shear force oriented. It's for normal moment oriented. If you think that bending moment and shear force on that shall dominate this design, you are mistaken. These are big columns, big size, around 1.5 or 1.2 or whatever, and this can permit work up to same dimension. And that's very important point. What is this guy? I don't know why this man is coming at this moment. Let us see if some reasonable person is there. I'll talk, otherwise I will not talk. Who is this? Jainu, Jabu, what is this? I don't let him go. I don't miss this person. Ensure curing for foundation concrete isn't accomplished. That's what I'm saying in this. And ensure construction joint is cabled properly. That I said. Ensure setting out locations are correct. That way ensure setting out for column which are taken down from, and there's a line settles out on site on this massive block. So that must be ensured that it is same point as the given foundation. Ensuring setting out locations are correct and ensuring column reinforcement is in place, is placed correctly to drawings. That must be clear. And then now, this way I ensure that. Ensure setting out of locations are correct. Ensure column reinforcement is placed correctly to drawings. That's very important. Two drawings means big columns and big scale. Ensure sacrificial anode are fixed to required height, well anchored, because this sacrificial anode are fixed on columns, so it is correct to the foundations. And also ensure tank GI steel plate that is in column, that GI plate inserts are available, duly fabricated from workshop. These are inserts are available. Alright, then check proper holes. Are available for fixing these fastenings to forms. This steel plate and fastening shall be fixed to forms for purpose of erection and going into concrete material. So check proper holes are available for fixing by fastening to forms using bolts. And ensure all forms sides are fixed with inserts properly and inspected. Alright, just in a place, yeah. Let me see. I don't know, maybe 10 minutes more. Now, all form sides are fixed with inserts properly inspected. And make sure that tanks of plates should be embedded in concrete. Certainly, this means plate should be fixed to form and tanks embedded in concrete along with plate. and make sure that all sides of forms all sides of forms are erected after rebar inspections. Have closure of forms and carry out all column forms operations. Closure of forms. You have to close forms. Then restart operations. Check out concrete. Check out concrete powering tools. Then check our concrete pouring levels, which is very important, up to what level of pour. Forms were closed and column forms operational.